I figured this out. A family friend wanted to come by and smoke pot with us, but I couldn't because I was worried that I'd get another drug test doing until I had the job. But now I have a job, so if the opportunity comes up again, we can actually do it.
All right.
It's exciting.
All of Twitch.tv got that.
Try the drugs.
Them dope smoking unions and stuff.
Yeah.
What's all that about? I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. Press bake.
Okay, I see the intro art.
All right, good. We're also talking. We're live. It's all of that fun stuff.
So everybody can just hear us now already?
Yep.
Even though we're 15 minutes early?
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much. This isn't the actual show yet. It could be. It should be.
So better be careful with the drug and masturbation talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to wait 15 minutes until everybody's here to
Yeah,
start
you want to have an actual audience for that.
Fair.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh,
remember.
this is cute! Look at that art.
Guess it's a good reference too.
Oh, that's good.
You don't get the reference.
Well, I get the Gorillaz one now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that underground band.
This is so hip. Alright, Anna, do you mind if I plug in my headphones and we can have fun? Cool. We're in a studio now.
With no AC, absolute silence in the studio. This is great.
This isn't great. Here, give me a moment. Boop.
Hot Donald's, I'm loving it.
Hot Donald, you're loving it.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You got to do like the off, have it off a bit.
You got a what?
Like the non-copyright infringing version of it.
Oh.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, and there you go.
I gotta get this tweeted out.
Hey, quick question. How's this background noise?
It's fine.
Cool.
Except for the echo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm plugging in the headphones. So yeah, that's... with windows open. Is that better? Do you want me to try opening the other windows too? Yeah, alright.
I probably just tweeted that from... Okay, no, I got it from the right account that time. Boom! I'm an expert. I'm an expert at TweetDeck. Don't question me. So now everything's...
Don't worry. I'm also an expert at TweetDeck.
You are fantastic at TweetDeck. Like, you've never screwed up.
No.
Ever. Like, there's never been an unfortunate accident with a uni picture with her and her face and her bare chest covered in semen. There's never been anything like that ever posted on your account, and people would be very...
I just turned it back up to hear semen. And I knew it
was... Good! Okay.
Alright, how's that background noise? That's with the windows open, so it won't be sweltering.
It's fantastic.
I thought you weren't in Florida anymore.
Oh, that's my tea. But yeah, is that okay?
I don't hear anything. It's fine.
Yay! Excellent. Cool. Everyone can hear.
Okay, let's see here. Why isn't that working?
Woo! Testing.
Why isn't that working?
What? What's not working?
No. The chat's supposed to be showing up on stream.
Oh, shit.
You know, that kind of makes things...
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know what I'll do. We will... unlock it, maybe? No?
More testing.
More testing. You got more testing. You got more testing. You just do a little bit of testing. That's all you gotta do.
That's weird. You've done it with the Contra streams.
Yeah, I know. I do it all the time.
So you know how to do this.
Yeah, I'm very adept at making that happen.
Just load up the Contra template.
Hold on. I'll get
I wonder
this.
if that would work.
Hold on. I'll get this figured out. Hold on. You just hold on.
Hold your horses.
Hold your horses. You just hold on.
When are you gonna drop the beat, Francis?
When are you gonna drop the beat, Francis?
We're all waiting.
Okay, I guess I don't have that. Where? Okay. Motherfuck. Where did it go? Where did it go? I had it here. I was just testing it the other day. And now it's not here. That's that. Uh-huh. And that is also that. Good. That's that.
We got Luigi in chat.
We got Luigi in chat. Luigi's hanging out. Don't worry. We're just getting things set up. Don't worry. It'll be professional soon. Very soon. And I just like... fucking... Did I just delete it? Is that what I did?
Probably.
Alright, I'll tell you what. We'll just do this shit on the fly.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
No, I got it. I just gotta go get some stuff. I gotta get my Streamlab shit again. Chat box, where you at, dog? Let's see.
Oh gosh, there's a lot of people here now.
Oh no. Oh no! It's time to get nervous. Don't worry. We're getting it. We're getting it. Don't worry. Okay. Now, that's what I want. Boom. Give me that. Give me that hot link. Give me that hot link. And I can drop that in OBS. Would be a browser source? Yes, I do believe that would be a browser source. Okay. Don't worry. Hold your horses. It's gonna be fine. Now, type something in chat for me, would you, Rhett?
I see OBS Studio. Okay.
It's fine. Just type anything. All right. Now we're in. Good.
Oh, interesting.
Now I just center that to screen. Boom. We got a chat box. It's all great.
Okay.
Woo! Why does Byron think that I want him to call into the show? That is not what I want at all. So if you're listening, Byron, don't worry. I just got your tweet. Don't worry. It's all good. This is gonna be much shorter. Don't worry. This is not 8,000 people calling in. We have a few prearranged guests.
Yeah.
It is much smaller scale.
And we only have 2 topics each to talk about.
One, motherfucker.
Oh, there's the chat now. Cool.
Yeah, there it is. It's all there now. See? It shows up all nice and classy with the
the background.
With our awesome background.
Thank you, Sayara.
Sayara, who always does our amazing cover art. Oh no.
Wah. I'm Sayara. That's what he sounds like.
That's exactly what Sayara sounds like.
It's me, Sayo.
How come your impersonations of everybody always sound the same?
It always sounds like this in this little infantile voice. It has a very severe lisp. That's Cartman.
God!
Yep.
You're the worst at impersonations, right?
Well, you never see me try, right? I don't ever try, right? So
No.
I could just be the best of.
I think we need to bring back Rhett's very accurate Japanese person.
No,
come on, Rhett, you should do that one again.
All these excellent things to tell Rhett. Hey, we remember.
We got all these bits we can fall back on.
Oh God.
That's all this is gonna. This is actually just gonna be a clip show. We're gonna be replaying all the hits.
Mm-hmm. So what are the biggest hits?
We don't have any.
The biggest hit is having what's his name?
Samurai Karasu. We just bring on Samurai Karasu and let him talk for an hour straight. That's your show. Yeah. That's it. Like, that's where we peaked. Oh, Lord. Don't worry. We're still getting things set up. We got 5 minutes. I can. How's everybody sound, by the way? Give us a some feedback in chat about how everybody's sounding and all that good stuff.
I will talk now to do a volume comparison.
Hi, I am John. I'm talking right now.
See, everybody looks good on the old decibelometer. That's what we call it in the studio, the old decibelometer.
Who is that doing the impersonation?
Hello, guys. It's me, Red. God damn it! I don't sound like that.
Oh man. This is actually what it's like when we record these things, by the way. It's literally just us sitting around and waiting for John.
I'm right here. I've been here this whole time.
Sure you have.
Wasn't getting up and getting...
Super exciting chat window.
Yeah, I do that every episode too.
I'm saying John hasn't been here. He's a dirty liar.
Oh shit.
Well,
He's getting his tea.
Yes! It's a Neptunia reference. Thank you, Royan.
There's a
Well, maybe if the outfits weren't totally fucking different,
dude,
it wouldn't look like a Love Live reference.
It looks better. I think it look like I like that the colors are uniform. It looks good against the background, Rhett. Are you gonna bitch about our fucking cover art with a fucking artist right in the chat?
I'm just saying.
Are you trying to fucking
accurate? I would have had
You're
the IS
trying to
outfit.
destroy his confidence as an artist, is what you're trying to tell me right now.
He has no confidence.
That's a good point. Okay.
There's a tea place that's like 2 steps away. There's like everything 2 steps away. It's very nice.
That's what a studio apartment is like. Literally everything is 2 steps away. I don't know what that sound was. Oh no, did people do a thing?
What?
Oh no, I don't know how to turn those off.
Turn what off?
The normal alerts for when people follow or subscribe.
Oh.
Oh no. I don't know how to turn those off. I thought turning the thingy would turn them off. Okay, well, if there's weird sound effects, oh fucking well. I don't have the alerts actually active, but the sound effects still trigger because they're linked to Streamlabs. I don't remember what Contra 1-Up means. I don't know. I think it's just... No, don't subscribe, please. I'm not worth the subscription. Please. I'm not worth the subscription. I meant to turn those off, and now that I haven't, we're just going to suffer for it.
All right.
I like how you're telling people not to, and they're like, "Oh my god,
don't, please."
Subscribe.
It's not like I don't have a lot of time to stream. I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time to stream. Please don't.
I like Fresno. Do not like, comment, or subscribe.
Yes, do not like, comment, or subscribe. Like at all, please. What if that's against the What if that's against the Twitch TOS? Is like you can't tell people. You can't tell people not to give us money.
I've heard weird stuff that like if everyone who's on Amazon Prime actually used their free Twitch subscription, the Twitch would like go bankrupt immediately.
Oh God! All right,
everybody $5 thing.
So we're closing in on time to get the show started.
And I just got in my extra comfy chair.
And he just got in his extra comfy chair. I am going to mute us. I'm going to mute us for the moment, and we will see you guys on the other side of the theme. It should only be maybe 1 or 2 minutes, so we will catch you guys in just a moment. goddamn years. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sockscast 3rd anniversary live cast. How's it going out there in internet land? And people listening to this after the fact, who unfortunately won't be having all the fun we're having here interacting with this very large chat tonight. And all of these wonderful and pleasant alerts that I forgot to turn off. That is not going to be a recurring theme throughout this show. I can assure you. I will now invite, my other two hosts to unmute themselves and say something, because I can't stretch this out much longer. Come on now.
Hello.
Hi. Joining in. Hey, how's it going? Everybody,
Well.
3 years. Before we kick this thing into high gear, gotta say something to our lovelies and everybody down in Houston right now. I'm just gonna say, just off the top, if you can donate to some charities to get those people some help, please do. If you can't, then by all means do everything you can to get the word out. It's pretty fucking dire down there right now, and they need all the love and support that they can get. So so now let's talk about all the dumb stuff we normally do. But we are always good at these transitions from really somber topics to really dumb things. So to my immediate virtual right, for 3 years, fortunately, I want him to come over in my house and cosplay as Dr. Robotnik so I can get a load of this. It's Rhett.
Hi.
How's it going, Rhett?
I swear you've done that. Is that a greatest hit, that intro, to get a load of this?
No, I
don't
said
remember.
that. I probably said that via DM at some point.
I
But
think
my God,
okay.
Rhett, my God,
Yes.
your dick has gotten
Okay.
so much larger since the last time we talked.
I thought it would be fun to start this episode actually with the fun fact.
What's your fun fact? Because I've got one after you.
Okay, we've all got fun facts today.
Okay, does everybody have a fun fact? John, do you have a fun fact?
He fell
I'm
asleep already.
drinking. No, I'm drinking Thai tea. It's really tasty.
We'll get a fun fact ready, because me and Rhett, we're gonna hit this chat up with some fun facts. Rhett,
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Rhett,
I didn't mean to put all this pressure on it now.
Rhett, I want a fun fact. Let's go.
This is a very dumb joke. Okay, did you know that Polly has 7 external hard drives?
This is actually accurate. Yes, I have 7 external hard drives, totaling about probably 9 or 10, the one after gigabyte, terabyte. Yeah, I've probably got about 9 terabytes of data, just from old stuff that I probably don't need, because you know what I did yesterday?
Did you hook one of them up for once?
No. What I did yesterday is I went through my my pictures folders and everything. I deleted everything.
Aww.
I don't save pictures on the internet anymore, I've decided.
I say fucking everything because I'm compulsive.
Which leads us right into my fun fact.
Uh-oh.
So, I've got a really fun fact, and it's about my co-host, Rhett.
Oh no.
Did you know that at 4 a.m, Rhett will send you a direct message on Twitter asking you to get on Skype because it's a fucking emergency. It's crazy down here in Rhett Town, and I just need to talk to you, Polly, fucking right now.
I'm gonna hang up.
So I rush over to my computer like the diligent friend that I am, and god damn it with the alerts. Fuck you. And thank you for the 69 bits, Mike Peachy. Nice. So I get this direct message from Rhett at 4 a.m. or 11 o'clock at night. One of the two. I like the other one better, but you need to get on Skype. There's trouble in Rhettland. And he sends me this RAR file.
It was trouble.
And it was literally just 25 megs of his PSO2 character with a nude mod. Fun fact. Fun facts!
I had a fun fact.
To my immediate virtual left! For 3 years. Unfortunately. Applied directly to the butthole. It's John Thayer.
Hi.
So, John Thayer, you got a fun fact.
Well, I was Googling for fun facts, and then I found one that I thought was very fun.
And?
So did you know that human saliva has a boiling point 3 times higher than regular water?
Well, it's because saliva is, it's like science, you know?
Solid.
No.
Boom.
No, Polly.
Yeah, well...
Saliva is 98% water, and it has a boiling point of 100.16 degrees Celsius. The fun fact was a lie, and then all the fun facts on that site are probably bullshit, and I'm mad that I couldn't find a fun fact for y'all.
I think saliva is 95% science, 5% Jesus.
Makes sense.
Who's going to agree? Who's going to disagree with that?
Okay. I like to live my life 95% science, 5% Jesus.
I think we all do. And that's why we're all gathered here on this Sunday to celebrate this wonderful occasion. Oh, this isn't a train wreck already. So
saliva comes out in the shape of Jesus.
Exactly. So does Rhett's semen, weirdly enough. Like when you, which is good because I always say I want to keep Jesus near my heart. I'll let your mind do the rest when you figure out what I meant by that. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
You can't fuck someone's heart. That'd be just violent.
No, he blows a load across my chest, John.
Oh, okay. Because that's a lot less.
That's still okay. Like, I'm totally okay with that. Why does that still say we're starting shortly? No, we've already started. Oh Lord, I'm on the ball here. Don't worry.
Of course.
Now it's a
casual podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Unlike our usual ones that are very professional, this one is just
this one's gonna stay on the rails. I promise you. So this being the 3rd anniversary, we're gonna kind of do a little bit of the normal thing we normally do. We're also gonna get a little jiggy with it every now and again. We're gonna keep things as loosey-goosey as possible, of course. We're still gonna talk about some things that have caught our interest for a while, but we're also going to be bringing in people that have kind of helped make the Sockscast what it is, who have been very important to the production of the Sockscast, who have, always done really cool things for us, and those people are awesome, and we kind of want to just have them on to kind of just be like, hey, come on, talk to us for 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm going to boot you out of the call because we're not having a repeat of the 10th anniversary show.
Yeah.
So, with this being a very special show, I want to start this with a fucking showstopper, which is exactly why I'm not starting with John. So gonna throw to my boy Rhett.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go first.
Nope. I never go first.
You played the good game.
I probably played the only good game out of anything that's gonna be mentioned on here.
Polly's being a hater.
Probably.
Polly is hating.
But with you, I feel that we need some catharsis. I feel that there is
closure.
We need closure. There is a tale to be told here that I feel that just, So, Rhett, why don't you take us through this amazing adventure and give us some closure? Like, people are throwing away Game of Thrones. People are throwing away Twin Peaks. They're tuning in for this shot rock, y'all. And also, we're going to be watching the chat, and we're going to be talking to you folks in a bit, and we're going to be telling you how to interact a bit more in just a short bit. Keep your panties on. We got you. We're watching you. We love you. But just keep your panties on for just a smidge longer. Well, Rhett regales us with his amazing and awesome adventure that we all are going to take together.
I don't know how to go transition into talking about video games after all this nonsense, but yeah, I finally finished The Witcher 3.
That has an end.
Whoa!
No, you're fucking lying.
It has an ending.
No, I don't
and then
believe this.
A couple others after that.
Hold on, I'm looking at your Steam achievements right now, and the game does have an. Are you like the only person that has this?
No, it actually has a pretty high percentage completion, considering like normally those games have like 20%. This one's like 40, I think.
Damn, that's actually kind of high for a game.
It actually is, really.
Especially for a game that gets joked about a lot.
It's never ending.
It's never ending, yes.
Yeah. I think that was mostly in the first couple months of it coming out because no one could actually get to the end. But anyways, so I'd heard much about this game having a 3-act structure.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, oh, when you think you're at the end of the game, you're actually at the end of Act 1. So, last time, we had to put this podcast on hold because I kept fucking talking about The Witcher.
That's exactly why we're on hiatus right now, because Rhett,
you were like...
I was just like, I'm not doing it. I can't.
We're not doing 3 more episodes you fucking talking about Witcher. We're not doing an episode till you finish The Witcher. So I'm here to say, I have finished The Witcher. So anyways, Act 1, I've talked to death about that. I can't quite remember everything. So, you know the game Mass Effect 2?
Yeah, I like Mass Effect 2 a lot.
Mass Effect 2 is basically, it's a heist movie.
Yeah.
Where you're building a crew and kind of deepening your loyalty with the crew and doing those loyalty missions and stuff. And it's all building up to one big mission at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So the second act of Witcher 3 is very similar to that. The funny thing, though, is that all those long quest lines that I'd said had, like, went on and on forever, even though they were technically optional,
mm-hmm.
those become, like, the main quest of Act 2, where it's all the loyalty missions and stuff.
Wow.
So basically, by the time because I was so thorough though, by the time I got to the part where it was like, okay, build this crew for this impossible mission, I had already done all of that stuff.
Oh.
So I just needed to go talk to like 4 NPCs and they were like, you have my sword and stuff. Like, it was just kind of weird. It's like, oh, I'm done all this already. Like, so I did all the Act 2 stuff basically during Act 1.
Oh, weird. Like that's kind of gotta deflate the experience a little bit.
It was a bit weird. I mean, that's the other thing is that the game itself doesn't actually denote the acts. So during this huge like couple hours of like cinematic stuff and like you're kind of being railroaded through some major events, I kept fucking waiting for like the title card drop to be like end of Act 1, like during these huge moments. And that literally never happens.
So there's no kind of interstitial or anything that just lets you know you've reached the end of the first act, or I thought that like when you went to a new place that was a new act.
No, see that's the thing. It's an open world game. You can come and go from most of these places at any time.
Yeah, but like all open world games lock you out of places and then like when the next place opens up, that's typically considered like the next part of the story. Like that's how like all the Grand Theft Auto games work.
I mean, that's kind of what this did, where it locked you in for a bit, and then it let you back out, and I'm like, okay, when the fuck is Act 2 gonna start? So I looked online, it's just like, so I'm looking at a walkthrough, and it's like, oh, I'm at the start of Act 3 now, weird. Like, there's no actual message in-game or anything. I think
that's real weird.
It was just kind of silly. I'm not even sure the acts are denoted by the creators of the game themselves, or if it's a fan thing.
It sounds definitely like a fan thing, because I mean, if they're purposefully not bringing it up, I would think that like, yeah, it's probably internally documented, but it's likely not like yeah.
So the end of Act 2 is really amazing and like big climax and stuff, and then Act 3 just kind of it loses that momentum pretty quickly. But it's just like, okay, go dick around for a few more hours doing some side quest stuff and some main stuff in the open world. So at first I kind of was disappointed with that, but then like after having spent so much time in this world at this point, like there starts to be a sense of progress in the world itself, where like things are happening in the world. Other quest lines from earlier are kind of advancing, like, oh, we said we were going to get to this later, we're getting to it now, and stuff like the war has kind of come to a head. So it's cool having the game like kind of have that sense of progression. And then
that is cool.
And then the ending is pretty good and all. So that's the main game, and I took a couple weeks off, and then I did the first expansion.
Good. Like, okay, so how long did the main game take you? Like in hours? How long was that? Just kind of like you doing everything you wanted to do, and then getting that, like, you actually saw credits, I'm hoping.
So yeah, you see credits at the end of the game, and then it kind of dumps you back in the world, and it's just like, oh yeah, but like when you get back into the open world, you're like a few hours kind of before the end of the game. Like,
yeah,
stuff cannot be undone.
Oh,
basically. It's just kind of for fun. And then, like, the first expansion basically takes place, in theory, kind of before the end of the game. And the second expansion actually takes place after the main game, but is kind of vague about directly referencing anything.
Was it trying to just be its own standalone thing, then?
Yeah, very much. Okay. There's kind of a wink and nod at the very end, like, oh, this is actually afterwards, everything.
Aye.
So, first expansion is pretty much just like its own 15-hour story campaign.
Right.
Not a whole lot to write home about, but it's a very good story and all. And then the second expansion is freaking incredible.
Oh. I thought you had just finished the first expansion.
See, that's the thing. The first expansion is just like its own little story quest. It's not that long. The second expansion is a whole new area, whole new open world to explore, and it is friggin' amazing and gorgeous, and like maybe like the prettiest area I've ever seen in the game.
Cool.
Consistently, because like Witcher 3 especially is a very kind of intentionally ugly game, especially the first area being like a swamp and like a shitty war-torn land. The expansion takes place in basically their version of France, and it is just like pastel colors and beautiful sunrises and sunsets, and nothing is wrong here.
That sounds vastly different from...
Yeah, and like they turn the color saturation way up.
Yeah.
It's like hyper saturated, beautiful. So it's a super nice area to be in.
So Taylor wants to know if there's like is that the one where you have to retrieve the stolen penis of a statue?
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb side quests in the second expansion. It's Blood and Wine is the second one. Yeah, like they also seem to not be taking things as seriously anymore. Like it's a much lighter tone in general. And there's a side quest where there's a statue that they're like, oh, people come here to rub it for good luck and sexual prowess.
God.
So someone steals the dick off the statue. And you have to go track him down. And then there's a whole thing where like their cheating wife walks in and sees you, and you're like, no.
Oh no! Utter madcap nonsense and silliness.
It's pretty much like that.
Whack whack whack.
And the whole thing, I guess, about Hearts and Wine is that it's kind of a better open world game than the main game itself, because like it feels like it rewards exploration a lot more. Like you can just kind of roam around this area and find stuff, whereas in the main game you're kind of always wanting to just be guided by the quests. And there's some really cool moments where like there was one quest that kind of took me to a top of a mountain, and I saw some dragons up there, so I killed them. But they weren't part of it. They just happened to be up there. And then I got another quest later on that was like, who killed these cows? And I know, it sounds really stupid.
That's very dumb.
You tracked him down to the top of the mountain, and Geralt is like, I already killed 2 dragons up there. I bet they were the culprits. And you go up there, and he's like, yeah, I already killed them, but now I can get somebody to pay me for having done it.
Oh my god, that's good!
That's really good, because like in other games, I think the dragons just wouldn't be up there until you were on the quest to kill them.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were just always there and you could kill them whenever.
That's pretty cool. There's
a few other mentions, like both expansions have like dialogue that references stuff that happened in the main game. Like that may not have happened depending on where you are and stuff. So it's kind of cool that they do acknowledge some stuff. And at the end of the second expansion, I kind of got the bad ending. And I was just like, well, that's probably how things have to happen. Like, your choices don't matter. And then I looked it up, and it's like, oh, there is a good ending. Shit.
Whoops.
But I think it's also really kind of a testament to this game where the bad ending felt completely appropriate, like tone-wise, where kind of like they do a lot of fairy tale referencing in the second expansion, and like the old versions of those stories that are often pretty grim and stuff. So like, say characters dying at the end was
kind of a constant.
You know?
Yeah.
Like kind of irony, I guess. So yeah, that game's really good. And then there's a real kind of dumb fourth wall break at the end, where Geralt goes, "I could use some rest," and then he looks straight at the fucking camera.
Oh my god. That's a little more than self-aware at that point.
Yeah, you could tell they had fun making this one.
Yeah.
So I've got some more side quests, but for now I'm putting the game down for a little bit.
You're Witchered out, like, because this is the only thing you've literally played for 2 fucking months.
What's insane is that I'm not actually Witchered out. It's just that there's not much left of it.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, let's chill for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm about that one game lifestyle now.
Yeah, you bullshit and fall back in it. You'll fall off that train in literally, like, fucking a week from now. You're going to be playing 2 games. 2 or more. You went from, 8 in your queue down to 5.
It's fucking stupid. I finished Dead Rising 2 just now, and it was like, oh, by the way, there's more of this game, and I'm like,
do I want more of you?
I don't want more. Oh, if I only hadn't done that side quest that unlocked the true ending. Fuck.
Whoops.
Okay.
Well, now you're kind of committed.
Yeah, but I didn't have time to do that before now.
Oh, well.
I've got that good no game at a time
that
lifestyle
good,
going on right now.
No game life. John's got no game. You heard it here.
Witcher 3 sounds really cool and good.
It's really good and cool, but it's insanely long, so I can understand why certain people like Polly and John would
I'm never touching it. Like, I can admire it from a distance. I can admire it from a distance, but it is not something I will ever play. Which is weird when we consider what I am going to talk about, but that'll be later.
I've been enjoying some, like, contemporary long fantasy stuff. I could really see myself digging into that world.
I've been enjoying some fantasies about Rhett's penis.
Well, before you derail things, how funny would it be if John read the Witcher books?
Oh, God. That would be... Well, I mean, it would still be...
Just full deep dive in the story. Read all the books, then play the first game.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Very quickly, there's a whole bunch of references to the books again in the expansions. Like, characters that weren't in the games ever show up, and Geralt's like, oh, hey, haven't seen you in forever.
I got to assume that it's just people... Like, it's that guy's got to be real furious. Because now they're just like, he's a little dog, and they're just rubbing his face in a big shit and piss pile. Just being like, nah, look what we did. We are way more successful than you.
This character you killed at the end of the last book, he's alive now.
Wah, wah, wah. So is that The Witcher 3?
That's really funny.
Yeah, that's Witcher.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be hearing about it again, I would assume.
I'm definitely never going to talk about it on this podcast again.
Oh, never. I guarantee it. It will not be making any other appearances. Never. So I guess if that's The Witcher 3, why don't we go ahead and ask our first guest to get himself ready. We're going to be pulling him in here in just a few moments. And
Hell yeah.
When they shoot me a message, I'll know they are ready. And in the meantime, we're going to entertain everybody with a nice song that's sung by Rhett. Go, Rhett. Come on, you're wasting the people's time at home. Let's go.
My name is Geralt. I am a Witcher. I drink potions and put oil on my sword. I like to have sex with succubi. Just kidding. Never touch that stuff. I killed an ogre one day, and I ate its liver, and I puked.
I think our first guest is ready to come on in. You may know this guest. He is
It's Lisa.
He is Our official fourth, we always design this as a 3-person show, but this person would always be our spiritual fourth. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. It's our good pal Boner.
I'm the spiritual fourth because I'm spiritual.
Spiritual, and you're a Lancer.
Yeah, I'm a Mitsubishi car.
Spiritual.
Goes broom. Yeah.
Oh.
Better watch out. He'll use Gabled.
Gabled.
Yes.
I'm a hetero bulg. What?
What?
Me and John are in that fate mindset, and you guys are doing something else.
Y'all are into some bad media that's not very good.
I wish the name of that weapon was called the Gay Bulge.
Gay Bulge! Yeah! Now
Yeah,
that...
kind of like what Mick Jagger had on the Rolling Stones album where you unzip it and you see the tidy whities with the crotch.
Yeah! Man.
I saw that in the record store the other day.
Oh,
I didn't
real?
buy it because vinyl is heckin' expensive and I don't have a turntable.
It's not that bad, depending on what you're buying. Like, I'm buying, like, recent releases, and they're not too bad. Like, I don't mind paying...
Only listens to vinyl, because it's the only way you can get music to sound good.
Yeah,
if
a lot
it's
of the time.
reissue of a semi-famous album, like, say, Super Unknown, it's like $34, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's...
I've never heard of Super Unknown.
Okay, I just want to do this now. Was John kidding about not knowing about Demon Days?
No, I don't think John was kidding, and I think John was kidding about it being an underground, nobody's heard of it album.
Well, Anna had heard of it, so I knew it wasn't. Well, not that Anna doesn't know anything about music. You know lots about music. I just was like, oh, Anna knows what this thing is. It's not like complete. It's not just a thing my friends talk about. So.
She's mainstream enough that I can use her to gauge the pulse of the music industry. She's a Swiftie.
Oh,
no. She got that new Taylor Swift album.
Oh, no.
It talks about Katy Perry, just like the last one did.
I hate Taylor Swift so fucking much. So how's it going, Boner?
It's going.
It's been a while since It's been a heck of a long while since you've been on a stream or a video or a podcast.
Those are for nerds.
They are. That's why I stopped doing them.
Yeah.
That and I didn't want to fucking hear about The Witcher anymore.
Fair.
So, hey, what do you want to bring to the table? We talk about whatever you want. You got 15, 20 minutes. Make it shine. Show me your shine.
All right. I'm not a Mario with short sleeves, which is weird.
Whoa, weird.
Yeah, I don't fly around with a water shooting jetpack.
Waiter.
I don't get shines as the cool kids say. All those cool kids, doing the shines.
Man.
So
hey, this is a reference to Holly's favorite game.
Parents can watch out for if your kids are addicted to the shines.
Yeah.
Number one. Mm-hmm. They say it's a me.
Oh, that's definitely a dead giveaway right there.
Number two, they eat lots of spaghetti.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that eat a lot of spaghetti, so I'm not sure that wouldn't be a telltale sign, but if it's in conjunction with any of the others, I'd be very worried.
Yeah, Eminem, I mean, he is known as a spaghetti connoisseur.
Absolutely.
He doesn't go on those Super Mario odysseys that we see people going on. They just neglect their kids, jobs, responsibilities, and just throw hats on people and possess them.
Yeah, a game seems real morbid in a way.
Yes.
Did you see that copy pasta where it's basically like Mario can never die because it's like, son, I just have one last request. Put my hat on.
That's pretty good. Oh, Lord. That's what we're going to do.
So, 3 years, Sockscast.
It's a lot of time.
Sockscast and sexy peoples.
Yeah, there's a lot of those, too. A lot of them right in the chat. I'm not pandering at all. Wink, wink.
Yeah, can I get
Sockscasts make people sexy.
Can I get a Kappa Pride in the chat?
Let's get some Kappa Pride in there. There we go. There's just some Kappa Pride. I just threw some Kappa Pride out. if you are listening to this after the fact, you can just type Kappa Pride in your head, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, you might get the gay, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely. If you type Kappa Pride, you're fucking gay. Like, it's done. Like, you've sealed the deal.
Aw, shit. Wait, you told me that too late.
Whoop.
Right. Carmichael did 2 of them.
Oh, damn. Did he just,
Well,
like,
does that
reverse...
cancel out?
Does that, like, reverse the spell if you do 2 on the same line?
I doubt it.
Yeah, it probably just means Carmichael's now double gay.
Yeah, family double gay. That's
Yeah,
where you-
that was
where
my...
you gotta reach up a giant nose full of
It's not nose hairs. It's,
dragon cum lube and pull the gay flag.
it's
out.
like... And there aren't nose hairs. There's just nose penises inside.
no, they're gay man pubic hairs.
Okay.
Really
I got
gnarly ones too.
No,
yeah.
oh yeah, but there's still
Or
penises in there.
testicle.
I want
That'd
there to
be
be
a weird sneeze.
I like penises being inside the nose for some reason. I think that's just a real funny visual, and I'm really hammering it home, so hoping someone laughs.
Well, you're gonna hit up Pixiv to find that exact Japanese hentai art
It
as soon as
probably
we wrap
exists.
this podcast.
It probably exists.
No,
Probably, yeah, probably.
I mean, really?
John's looking up them elephant girls right now.
Oh my god.
Isn't that a White Stripes album cover?
I think so. Probably. Oh shit.
How are we doing on time?
We're doing good. You still got like, I don't know, 15 minutes. Let's go.
Rick.
Like, so what do you want to... Do you want to chop it up about something, or are we just going to sit here and jack off?
Well, both things sound great. But
Yeah,
I guess I need
they're
to
both
take
pretty
this
good.
in a direction that's engages the audience.
Oh, and really family friendly, by the way.
yeah.
Definitely need to impress that.
All right. So I bought a motorcycle. That happened.
Oh.
Damn.
Oh, cool.
A week later, I fell off said motorcycle.
Oh, that's not so good.
Yeah.
You're still here. That's good.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Different kind of nose job. Sorry, that's a different kind of nose job in the chat, and it killed me.
Nut.
Ah! So you fell off your motorcycle. I hope to God you're okay and have no lasting injuries.
Well, I did break a rib, but the good news is it was the rib that, if you don't have it, allows you to suck your own dick.
Oh damn! So like the last few weeks, along with all the Percocet, you've been having a real good time.
Oh yeah, definitely. But no, in all seriousness, if you want to get into the motorcycling sport, I suggest you search around for a local motorcycle safety foundation course. They're usually about $250, depending on where you live. You know, talk to some people, preferably not biker gangs, because they'll probably try to just make you buy some crank.
And if you don't buy said crank, you'll get more broken ribs than you would falling off.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It depends. Like, if you go to your mom's bridge club, and it's like, the first one's always free, right? So they might like slip a little in the ginger snaps that they.
They're always giving away the ginger snaps. You're not wrong.
I wish somebody would give me some ginger snaps.
No,
No, I want some ginger snaps.
ginger snaps are pretty okay. I'm
Hey,
all on board
hey,
with
y'all.
ginger. Yo.
What's crank?
Oh,
It's a movie with Jason Statham.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They're going to slip you a DVD copy, not a Blu-ray copy. That's a little too much. You don't get Blu-rays on your first.
Okay.
It's on Blu-ray. They lose me.
Those
I
are-
cook an egg with a spoon.
I'm Jason Statham.
My heart doesn't go unless I run. I have sex on a football field.
Hey, Ludacris does that in a song.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. We can do it in the Georgia Dome on the 50-yard line while the birdie birds scrape for tree. I'm sure some of those lyrics were not delivered correctly.
Probably. Like, you have a good flow though. You have good conviction.
Oh,
behind
that's
your
right.
flow.
They fucking the Georgia Dome closed down. Ah, fuck. That song's irrelevant now. I'm disillusioned with everything.
Damn. Like, you have the deepest of ludicrous lore, and now it's just fucking, like, down the pisser.
What if Ludacris and Lord got together, like, did a compilation album?
It'd be okay.
Yeah.
I'd listen to it. I mean, like, they both got good voices.
Coming on the ALC 2021.
Yeah, ALC, that's a thing that's happening again.
Oh, yeah. That's like when a bunch of, like, jackasses got together and talked about music. Some asshole recommended the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't know why anybody would be listening to that in 2016.
Yeah, exactly. Carmi's got the right idea, though. Lordicris.
I kept waiting for that to be a pun that he was setting up. And it
Yeah, I thought Boner had something prepared here.
Actually, I was talking about Lordi, the Finnish band that won Eurovision like 5 years ago. Or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. They're weird. They're very weird.
Europeans are weird.
They are. Just in general.
What even are that?
Just on general principle, like Europeans.
What are Europeans? We just don't know.
We can't figure that out.
If anybody's European in the chat right now, I hope you know that we are silently mocking you.
Yeah, like openly judging you.
If Rainiac's there, or I don't know, maybe like you're not there because time zones. Then
Well, not Rainiac though.
conflicts.
I don't think anybody, and like Rainiac wouldn't be there because Rainiac is a fake Brit.
Yeah.
Lives in Missouri.
Yeah. We all know that.
What about
Yeah.
Canadians? They're like almost
Canadians
European,
don't
right?
count because Canadians aren't people.
Oh, okay.
D-Mac's a person.
Okay. D-Mac is the only good Canadian. Everybody else, they're not actually people.
What about Drake? What are your opinions on famed Canadian?
I don't like Drake in the slightest.
Ooh.
I'm gonna throwing out a hot
you're
take
like
here.
Drake, and then it's like ooh, like shunning. him.
Yeah,
But
like
then,
like somebody comes to me and they're like, "Yo, I like Drake." I'm just like, that's it. Like you are never actually.
Who do you do the second reaction to, where it's like the smirk and the pointing the finger, like, yeah, that's the shit right there.
Oh, I don't.
Drake.
That's
Drake's,
a Drake.
alter ego.
Yeah, Drake exists to be a bad rapper and singer and a meme.
What if Drake is like secretly Drake Mallard, the secret identity of Darkwing Duck?
Oh shit! Did we just
Like, what if
crack?
it's about to get dangerous?
Did we just fucking crack the code?
Or did we crack code?
Damn it, you beat me.
Oh my god!
It's okay. We'll just say it was the Skype delay.
Why didn't I fire that off the moment it hit my lips?
I thought you were about to, honestly.
It's all just downhill from here. I don't want to be on this.
So-
See why I don't want to do podcasts anymore? People steal my fucking jokes.
All right, so I guess I got like a minute or two left. Speaking like way of clever segue, coming from Darkwing Duck, I guess. I've been watching the Tick.
You've been coming to Darkwing Duck?
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna take everything.
Disney afternoon, man.
Everything. Yes. If you came to this podcast tonight thinking, is she just gonna turn everything into awful sexual metaphor? You're goddamn right. Okay, so
Let's get dangerous.
the Tick.
Tick.
Yeah, so as you may or may not know, on Amazon Prime streaming, they released a new Tick series because after the early 2000s Patrick Warburton Tick series that only lasted like 5 episodes,
Yeah.
I think this one was ripe for a reboot or reimagining, if you will. It's actually pretty faithful to the 90s animated series, just in tone and. I mean, of course, it's they had to update it. It's a little more adult, as we're like people actually get killed.
Oh damn.
quite a bit.
Oh damn.
So just to kind of run it down, it kind of follows Arthur, and it does make references to characters that were in the animated show. And I'm not that familiar with the comic that spawned it, but his sister Dot is there. The main villain of the whole thing is the Terror, the nonagenarian, like, way too old villain.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's only 6 episodes the first season, so it's not too hard to figure out kind of like how the characters are interrelated. But yeah, it kind of deals with Arthur dealing with some past issues, and it's like then the Tick shows up, and when you first see the Tick, he looks like shit. Like he looks like he's like wearing compression tape spray painted blue.
Kind of like in the Deadpool movie when he's trying out different, like trying to build his battle suit and all of like the terrible versions of that they run through.
Yeah, it's kind of a side. I really love the sweatpants that Peter wears in the first the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
When he's bone saws ready.
Shout out to Macho Man.
So, like, anyway, like, later on, like, the Tick shows up again, and he's in, like, a much better-looking costume, and, like, Arthur's like, did you, is something different about you? So it kind of goes into the whole thing where it's like, is Arthur imagining the Tick's there and all this kind of stuff. But, yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, I'd recommend watch it. It's definitely, it's definitely faithful to, like, the dialogue where, Tick does this weird wordplay. It's like, Destiny's handing you the phone, Arthur, and she's, you know what?
Oh yeah, just kind of like
they kind of lay out like overly bombastic and like weird metaphors that kind of don't go anywhere but make sense in like their own internal like circular logic.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of like absurdist humor. Right. And anti-humor kind of like mixing together, which was kind of always the best thing about the animated TV show, is that like the dialogue in that show is great. And I love that they had a lot of continuity in that original show too, because like once the villain took a bite out of the moon, it stayed there for the rest of the series.
Yeah, who's burnt? Yeah, Chairface Chippendale. He's like trying to burn his name into the moon, and he gets as far as Ch, and like, doesn't quite finish the H, and then like for the entire
and it stays there. I hope they bring back the Mad Bomber. What bombs at midnight?
Oh God!
Or is it like the Midnight Bomber? What bombs at midnight? Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a few of those illusions. It doesn't like pull out all the. You're not going to see Chairface Chippendale or Dinosaur Neil or Deflator Mouse. I'm hoping
Deflator Mouse, please. Like, I'm hoping that this is just like a test run, and they're gauging interest, and that there is interest, and that they kind of go a little more into like, you know, like, hey, here's 12 episodes and a budget, go crazy.
There is a character who I can't remember if this was in any of the older material or not. He's like a kind of a Punisher knockoff named Overkill.
Yep.
And which is, I swear to God, is the name of a Spawn character, but you know
sure
that was probably done with no irony whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite, just like because of his interactions with Arthur and stuff. It's like how ridiculous this is. He calls everybody jackass for some reason. he eats like a spam, like a Greek spam surrogate in this universe, like straight out of a can.
Yeah.
And he has a boat, kind of like hideout that's controlled by an AI, voiced by Alan Tudyk. And there's a great exchange where they're like, "You know what's in that, right?" And it's like he's eating spam out of a can. He's like, "Yeah, mostly hoof, some salt." Like, you want to eat off a plate like a civilized person?
This definitely sounds really good.
Yeah, it's kind of like giving me faith back in the whole superhero thing. This kind of gotten a little samey. Like, it got really big when the Avengers movie made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, well, we're gonna beat this whole genre and
just like
type into the ground where everybody's gonna get oversaturated with it. But no, this is a breath of fresh air, I would say.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm definitely.
That's really nice because I've been feeling that overexposure too.
Yeah, like it's fucking. There's literally a new fucking. There's literally a new fucking superhero every goddamn minute now. They're just pumping them out by the minute.
Yeah.
Cool. So Boner, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for one for stopping by and not just bailing completely on the show like an asshole last time.
Wow,
we did one of these.
Really, we're gonna bring that up?
Yeah. I had to know that I would. Look, if I'm gonna bust Rhett's balls and exaggerate details about him messaging me at 4 a.m, then I'm gonna I'm gonna bust your balls too.
And coming where it looks like Jesus.
Well, no, that actually happens.
Oh, okay.
That's a real thing.
It's like every time. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's really weird that it's every time.
Just draws a little picture right there.
Yeah. And, of course, always being there to be our fourth at any time, being a fantastic part of the community. We love you to bits. Chat has picked up significantly since you joined the call. So,
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, you are awesome. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the show with the rest of us.
All right, thanks for having me. Peace out.
Right. Boop. All right. We all just fucking everybody just hung up on him at once. It was great. He hung up on us. We hung up on him. It was a nice mutual exchange, like adults should. So that's always a good thing,
Holly just dropping her takes on on hanging up etiquette.
Yeah, just like, hey, you know what? That's how you do it. Just everybody fucking just hang up at once. Everybody it's mutual hatred, because when you think about it, that's how phone calls are. It's just mutual hatred. Nobody actually wants to talk to anybody on the phone. And when you're hanging up, that's your sign. That's like, man, fuck off. So every time I hang up on somebody, I have to buy a new phone because I literally push my fucking fist through the back of the phone.
I mean, we've all been there.
You don't get to slam phones like you used to.
I know. That's pressing a button. Pressing a button is not nearly as satisfying.
It's not even a button. You're tapping a screen. I'm gonna hang up on you.
Ooh, I'm gonna get you so good.
Boop. Guess what? Boop. It's not an anger sound. Boop. No matter how fucking hard or loud you make it. Boop. Not a fucking anger sound. Sorry. Get on it, iTunes, iPhones, Apple, Bill Gates. Get on it. Do your thing.
Figure out how to make hanging up angry again.
I want real angry hanging up. God damn it. Or I can just always have another phone on me or an MP3 player that has the sound of me hanging up a real phone very loud, and I'll play that into my actual phone before I press the button, which it's a little convoluted, but it gets the fucking point across.
It's still ending on the boop.
But why isn't that? Why can't we just have that as a built-in feature on phones now? We can have a hang-up button and an angry hang-up button.
Yeah, there should just be two of them.
On your end and on their end.
Yeah. Why can't that be a thing? I'm so angry. Technology has robbed us of so much.
This is just like the other day when I got really mad because I realized that if they just made a Siri that was really mean, then everyone would love it. They would make $1 trillion.
Probably.
Just
I'm waiting for this to segue into something sexual.
It already has, right? I said I want my phone to be a...
Where have you been this whole podcast?
No, I specifically meant.
No, I just said that I wanted my phone to have a mean lady talking down and insulting me all the time. Obviously, that was already there.
Dude,
okay.
Iris Heart.
Yeah.
Iris, dude, that would be so good.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't even have to be that over, just like Gladys or the Shodan thing, that, because that was obviously it's also there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would actually like a GLaDOS phone. That would be pretty good.
So much for that. Ugh. So, Polly, what's the next part of the podcast?
What's the next part of the podcast? Well, John Thayer, guess what? Your time to shine!
Oh, gee. Really?
Yeah, it's finally time, ladies and gentlemen. Take your seats. You're going to want to be ready for this. You never want to miss a John Thayer segment on a Sockscast, and you are especially not going to want to miss this John Thayer segment. It is a very special one. I've been assured that this is going to be the best John Thayer segment on a Sockscast that you've ever heard, or we get to fire him.
I still have the penis nose up here on my screen from when I posted it earlier. I was about to, I was laughing and then I opened my eyes.
That's a thing that I can't actually show on Twitch. So we'll be skipping that, but John has posted penis nose in our chat, and it's
important to note
that
it's not just a picture of a man with a penis nose, but in the corner is a circle with text in it that says, "What is America's fetish this week?" in Newsweek font or something.
That's so fucking weird.
You two are
That's my
weird.
segment.
What the fuck? Oh, that's the segment.
All right, so I talked about I played a video game.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that thing where we like play a really like engage with like a really well-known piece of media and then joke about it being like really hidden and obscure.
Yeah, we do that a lot. We do that a lot.
We do that a lot because it's really funny.
Yeah,
so
people love repetition and humor, if that's anything that I've learned. And
exactly. So I heard that this game kind of inspired a lot of artists I really like nowadays. Like I think it inspired parts of Nier Automata.
mm-hmm.
I think it inspired the parts of the Adventure Zone. And it's almost as good as those things. I played Final Fantasy VII.
What's that? I've never heard of that.
It is the first game in the Final Fantasy RPG series for the PlayStation. It was released in 1997.
Weird. It's the first one. It's the first one, but they called it 7. Huh. Weird.
They meant to call it Final Fantasy 97, actually. Because that's the year it came out.
No, this is a prequel. The original one is Final Fantasy X.
Okay, I see now. That makes a lot more sense.
So this is I don't know. I guess they'd lost the X at some point, so it's Final Fantasy X7.
Okay, I got
unrelated here.
Wait, I thought it was Final Fantasy V.
Now this is the humor you come to the Sockscast for.
That's dumb.
You're making fun of my dumb jokes now?
No, it's a good joke, actually.
X is plausible as the end of a name. V isn't.
I think that was really good.
I guess there's like Hyperdimension Neptunia V, right?
V2.
VIIR is the newest one.
Veer.
So I replayed Final Fantasy VII. I played through it exactly once. 10 years ago. It was it was in middle school. So yeah, like 10 years ago.
God, you're so young.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kills me. And it's like middle school, 10 years ago.
Yeah. So like this game. So I like both 6 and 7. I've actually only played to completion once. Twice now for 7. So I was rediscovering a lot of this game basically for the first time in my head, which is really cool because this is one of those games where it has like a very strong pop culture proliferation. So there's parts of it are
I
present.
see. I gotcha. Yeah.
So there are parts of it you can't escape, and then there are lots of parts of it that nobody ever talks about. And it's like, whoa, this was in this game?
That's weird.
That's like the entirety of disc 2 and 3, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I got really worried that I was going to go into disc 2 and not remember any of it, and it was all going to be like boring and bad. But I had a really nice time with this game the whole way through, and I finished it in like 27 hours. That's
pretty good.
Yeah, so it moved quick for me. I guess one of the first things I did was turn the ATB speed real low, so I wound up dying on bosses a lot. I remember this game was supposed to be easy, I thought.
It's pretty easy.
Well, I died a lot, is what I'm saying. I got a lot of bosses where I was just like, I spent like an hour grinding in one of the sections, so I'm really good at Final Fantasy VII, y'all.
Yeah, it's not that hard of a game, really.
It's not that hard.
It's not! There's like 2 hard fights in the whole game.
Which one are they?
Proud Claude? No. The one that grabs your party members.
That was the one I grinded for an hour right before.
Okay, that fight's pretty fucking awful. If I can get messy.
I taught Cloud Ultima, and then we were able to do it.
Okay, yeah, easy peasy. But you know, if he grabs your if he grabs a hold of your party members and you Ultima, you know,
it's them too. Huh?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that was a hard fight, and then I beat him. Oh man. Okay, so I'm going to, instead of like going through like a point by point, my
keep talking.
Hold on a second.
You can drown it out. I swear. Just another shooting. Just another shooting in Chicago.
No, we don't have those. It's really nice here. We've only gotten yelled at by a couple strangers.
That's not bad.
We've only been threatened by one stranger, right? Only been threatened by one stranger, right? While waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Threatened and called the devil and threatened, it was like threatening to shank me and then threatening to sick her buddies on me or something.
There was no one else there. It was very sad because she just was clearly having a rough time.
Really just depressing.
Yeah. This is a lot of detail on the kind of sad thing, actually.
Yeah.
I love you.
Oh. It was funny today. Kind of a self-deprecating thing.
Yeah?
But
Let's do it.
Today when I was walking to the bakery after you got Chipotle,
Yes.
we were in the bathroom. The guy who is there's a guy sitting in front of the Walgreens,
Yeah.
catcalling the 3 women who walked in front of me.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Ooh, 3 pretty ladies and an ugly one."
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought it was mostly just funny.
Oh. All right, so yeah, we got lots of good vibes. All right, that was the Chicago walking on the street update.
All right. Good.
So instead of talking about just like all of Final Fantasy VII in depth,
because that would take a while. You've done that. You've done that before.
we just do that like Zelda, like we did with Zelda. That would go fast.
That went by real fast.
Yeah. No, let me just say a few things. Basically, what kind of stuck out to me is like, oh, this game's really special. This game uses music really well all the time.
Yeah, it's got a fantastic soundtrack, and they use it pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even just that it has like a really good soundtrack, which it does, but like, kind of like, I've played a lot of RPGs that don't care very much about direction.
Yeah.
And it's like in Ni no Kuni, there are 3 final boss forms, and all 3 of them, at the end of them, they pause everything, turn off the music, and then play the normal victory theme while the players do their normal little jingle.
I don't like that very much.
No, I don't like it a lot
really
either.
rips you out of the moment. Like, when you do things like that, you've got to keep the soundtrack just fucking going.
Yep. Yeah, this game was Final Fantasy VII is like ridiculously on point with this just sound direction all the time. It's just kind of like a lot of like Chrono Trigger, but more like going for it a lot of the time. Like in Chrono Trigger, you get to like Magus's castle and the Ocean Palace, and they'll do playing the battle theme throughout the fights.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. Final Fantasy VII does a couple times too.
And it's just the fucking best thing ever. Final Fantasy VII does that for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's start the game at this level of intensity, and then actually selling it. And then there's they bring that track back at the very end when you dive bomb Midgar.
Yeah.
And then they play. There's a handful of times where they just use a different song for the boss theme, and it lands like a train hitting you.
Yeah.
Like during the Proud Claude fight, where they play the Shinra theme for the big Shinra execs. And
isn't the second Genova fight after Aris dies?
Mm-hmm.
They play it with.
They keep the
yeah.
They keep the music going.
It's very good. Yeah, it's a hell of a lot.
They were very mindful about a lot of the details in that game, and I think that those are the kind of things that get overlooked a lot like when people talk about Final Fantasy VII. That those smaller minutia of like how the music is used to sell a scene, and not just like the big bombastic things. It's like these tiny details that build this thing into something really, really special.
Mm-hmm. And that matters a lot more to me than like the cool F&B scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just that control. Also, another thing is that basically every chance they get, if a cutscene can be interactive in some way, they go out of the way to make sure it's interactive.
Yeah.
Like when Cloud is walking up to Eris in the unbit, and then he like lifts up his sword, and you're like controlling it.
You're controlling that moment, and that's really cool. That's like, we see a lot of that kind of like putting the player in control of some really weird things. We see a lot of that in games these days, but I think that was one of the first instances where I experienced that.
And all the flashbacks up to Nibelheim, just the level of control and when they go back to it in Cloud's head.
Oh,
and the way
so good.
And when the way they direct that scene, and that it's still, and that at that point the POV is kind of shifted to Tifa.
Yeah. I remember you, like, when you started out, you're kind of shit talking Tifa as kind of the love interest of the second half of the game. You were shit talking it. I'm wondering, how did your feelings come around after Eris was punted off the stage?
Well, they didn't change after that point. They changed later on.
Well, I mean, I didn't mean immediately afterward.
Yeah. All right. So the deal is that Eris is. There are two girls that are interested in Cloud in Final Fantasy VII. Maybe not. I don't. Oh well, there's poor Jessie at the start of the game.
Oh no, poor Jessie. Jessie's my favorite.
I was going to say Yuffie.
I don't think Yuffie's interested in Cloud that much.
I think can't you get the date with her?
You can date everybody at the Gold Casino though. You can date you can date Red 13.
Really?
Wait,
I thought it was just the girls.
I thought it was just Barrett. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a date for everybody. I would have to look it up, but I'm pretty damn sure there's a date for everybody.
Cool. So the deal is that with Eris.
Oh, don't even fucking.
I started the game. I watched Final Fantasy VII Advent Children before I played Final Fantasy VII.
Wait. Oh.
Yeah.
You. I hate that thing very much because it ruins the ending of the game.
Yeah.
It does have a good soundtrack though.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't exist.
No.
It's very bad.
It is very much like Dirge of Cerberus. It does not exist.
Yeah. So, basically, the deal is that there are two girls who are interested in Cloud, and one of them, Cloud collapses through her roof, and then lands on the ground, and then she's like, he's pretty cute, and then asks him out on a date.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is like old childhood friend who's just like, oh, hi Cloud. Oh, how can I ever express my feelings so? And just based on like my personal romance experience, I have a lot more respect for the straightforward approach. So I was very much on Team Eris, and I was just like, oh, it's nice when people have a spine romantically, and I was just like,
You're not wrong.
yeah. So in that respect, I was like, oh yeah, obviously Eris and Cloud, and they just had really good chemistry throughout. I went on the Eris and Cloud date, and it was super nice, and they're gonna get married and live happily ever after. Tifa, she makes total sense after the game progresses. Like the way she's like equivocating a bit makes perfect sense. Like when she finds Cloud like just on the train station, like sitting down, and he's like, "Oh hey, it's been 5 years since we've seen each other. It's been 7 years, Cloud." And then saying these things that are just completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
That's so fucking. So real. Yeah, so like. Straight. Playing that in the way that they kind of played around with Cloud's memory and stuff, I think was done really well for writing at that time as well. Like that, like they did it. Like, yeah, the translation's kind of bad. Don't get me wrong. But you can put it together, and I think that it's really well put together on the whole, that whole little subplot. Yeah,
Cloud, Tifa, and Eris all makes perfect sense to me. I think the only thing where I started pursuing extra translation details was trying to figure out more stuff about Genova and Sephiroth.
Yeah.
that stuff felt a little muddled to me. But the stuff with Cloud's memory,
That stuff's
and
just bullshit
that-
anime nonsense, honestly. Let's be honest.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't have to make sense. It's just, hey, it's cool anime shit. Just enjoy it for being there. And it provides some of the game's better boss fights.
Yeah. Hey, it's really cool when Sephiroth, like the FMV where Sephiroth pulls down the Jenova thing. That was probably my
That's
favorite.
so iconic. That's just so iconic.
And zooms in on Jenova for just a second.
Yeah.
It's gone, and then it's good shit. Like, it's very stylish and evocative. And they provide a good foil for the main character's energy. All the main characters just positive energy. And yeah, so Tifa. So then I was very sympathetic with Tifa and loved her a lot by the end of the game. And I really loved Barrett, and I really loved Red 13 and Naki. Really loved Sid. And then the dumb, bad mascot character Kate Sith got some nice.
God, Kate Sith is so bad.
Yeah, he's dumb. I never put him in my party. It was cool near the end whenever they were like actually engaging with him as a Shinra spy.
Yeah, that was good shit. But as far as just like, man, I don't want this dumb fucking thing in my party. It's like it's like Quina in Final Fantasy IX, Chelsea's significant other. Quina Quinn. And the shitty thing about that is if you neglect Quina in that game, oh boy, they're going to put you through a dungeon with Quina later. And if you're not prepared for it, enjoy the grind.
No. I haven't played Final Fantasy IX. I gave up on it.
That game's poopy and boring.
Hot
takes, motherfucker.
I've been sampling Square games and then dropping them when I don't care.
That's probably a good way to experience most games, honestly.
Yeah. So Final Fantasy VII's whole cast is amazing. The plot actually, like, barring some of the confusion with the villains, it all felt very, very like clear and well told. I cared all about the characters, and I really wanted them to succeed, and it felt like it tied up all of its subplots pretty nicely. Like the thing, that Shinra could have easily been like the main villain of the game, and then they resolve that still in a satisfying way, and then Hojo could have been the main villain, and they resolve that in a satisfying way, and then you go to Sephiroth, and it's really cool that they have so much going on and then still manage to make it feel satisfying. The Nibelheim stuff gets resolved, the Shinra stuff, the Jenova stuff, the Sephiroth stuff, it all
comes together
very well,
in a nice
and then the ending's really good.
Oh yeah, I love the ending. Something I love Final Fantasy does, and you see like other games later in the PlayStation's life cycle get really built on this, is using FMV clips as part of the environment instead of using them as full movies. They implement FMV to specific parts of the background, like Fear Effect and Fear Effect 2 Retro Helix. Both of those games, like, nearly the entirety of their backgrounds are, like, FMV, CG-generated things, but there's, like, animated stuff in the background always happening that's FMV, and it creates, like, a really interesting look that, like, they kind of, like, don't have to, like, I guess, create as many images for, since you can just, like, have somebody render out a movie and then find a way to pop that into the background. I think that's, cool. Outdated, yes. It kind of doesn't look as graceful today as it did back then, but it's still a fascinating effect, and I always kind of liked it when I saw it happen in later PlayStation games after Final Fantasy VII kind of introduced that.
Isn't that Resident Evil 2, I think, does that a lot, too?
Yeah. There's, like, a scene, and, like, I can't express enough how awesome it is how most of the FMV scenes in that game are seamless, and they kind of, like, come in and out with the gameplay. Like, so it'll like zoom in on something and then like your characters will be there and it's just like, oh no, you're actually in control now. There are a lot of moments like that where it's seamless and things continue happening while you're playing. It's just like, that game's so fucking tasteful.
That was another thing, is that they just never do like the dumb fade out, fade in cutscene.
Yeah, they do it a few times. It's not like perfect. Not every scene can be transitioned in and out of like that, and I think that's just, you know, being a game. Sometimes that's hard to do. But the moments. Isn't
there like a shot near the start of the game where Cloud kind of walks into Midgar and then the camera pans
Yeah.
up at the huge tower.
That's right when
that's
you're
such
right
a
when you're
cool
going
moment.
in. Yeah, you were in control of Cloud that whole time.
Yeah.
Mm.
The way they
And of course zooming into the train at the very beginning.
Yeah. But like kind of having that little moment in the game meant so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you are now experiencing something that is like truly incredible, but also is really good. Kind of like when you get your first shot of Magus's castle, like in Chrono Trigger, showing you the shot of the Shendra building is like, that's really cool. That's a great way to foreshadow like the rest of this game and like the monolithic thing that stands before you, both in terms of the Shenra Corporation as well as the game itself.
Yeah, that's a really fun dungeon too. Is the end of the Midgar stuff?
Yes,
initial Midgar stuff. And then so the one last thing that I think is really cool and special about this game is just the pre-rendered backgrounds in general.
Oh yeah,
like,
they're
for that
gorgeous.
information, but just how fucking classy all those shots are and the way they play with camera angles and cinematography.
Yeah, it's so gorgeous, and it's so like I don't know if they had like actual cinematographers and stuff on the cast or the staff of this game, because games typically didn't have the kind of over bloated teams that they do now. But man, whoever set that shit up had an eye for cinematography. And
that the environments themselves are a lot less they're not tiled like all the SNES ones are, and they're more ambiguous, like what you can interact with and where the entrances and exits are. You kind of have to parse the environment a little more and think a little more just to engage with it,
or just press select and have the little markers appear.
Yeah,
that really helps.
Which they plugged in for our release and probably was wise. But just that the environment, just navigating the environments, that you're not always looking at your characters on the same plane. Sometimes they're running towards and away from the camera. Sometimes they're on a 2D thing with the roller coaster. The level, like I almost felt like that was more central to the game's identity as like a play experience than like the ATP.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, because the ATB kind of just carried over from the earlier games.
It's just like, hey, this is like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI and those games. Kind of generally less interesting across the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was something I complained about, was just that a lot of the bosses are just, hey, we need a boss here.
And the characters are all just kind of the same template for the most part.
Yeah, there's not a lot of customization or anything. It's sort of what you really lose in latter-day Final Fantasy is, you look at Final Fantasy VI and what they did by making everybody truly unique, and then you jump to games now, and they're all literally just make them however you want them.
And then Final Fantasy VI has that level of customization where you can give them all the magic side you want, and then and the relics. And then you go back 2 more, and you have 4 where everybody is a static thing. And they learn things as they level up. And
then 5 is boring and poopy. Hot takes, motherfucker!
So, yeah, that's like the ATB stuff is like functional, and like I said, I died enough times that I didn't just turn my brain off for it, so I appreciated that. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII is a really gorgeous, beautiful game. It's definitely made by. There are a lot of points in that game where I was just like, oh wow, this is by the people that made Chrono Trigger.
Yep.
Like, they have the pre-final boss monologue thing where the thing, and it's very like it's the same thing in 6 and Chrono Trigger, but it's just flavored differently. Like Cloud brings up Eris.
Yeah.
And it sort of highlights all the ways that this is the same kind of story they've been telling, and it's also something that's new and its own thing.
Yeah.
And just very special and good.
It's a game for the times. I mean, like, how could you not play this game? Like, you absolutely have to, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It's right up there with, it's part of Square's best game. It's one of Square's best games, and Square's makes some of the best games ever, so.
And they've been chasing it ever since.
Yeah. Love it.
One thing that
Hey, it's much better than Final Fantasy VIII, by the way. Like,
it's
having played
really
Final Fantasy
better.
VIII holy shit! Having played that just a couple years ago, like all those things I mentioned, like the backgrounds being like so like soulful and organic, and the characters all being distinct and interesting, and I love all of them, and the plot like holding together and closing these loose ends and being really satisfying. That's all. None of that.
Nope.
God, I thought 8 had nice backgrounds, but 7 probably has better kind of cinematography and camera angles.
I think with 8, the problem is just like none of the places themselves are interesting.
Yeah.
So they're like fidelity-wise, they're great, but Final Fantasy 8 needs a remake so it can actually be good. What would a remake change to make it good though?
Yeah, like you'd have to just like, hey, let's go back and rewrite the entire story since it's garbage.
To rewrite the story, but leave the junction system the same? No, we don't want we don't want the the same. We don't want. If we're remaking it, we're not going to have the pre-rendered backgrounds. We don't want the story the same. We don't want the characters the same. We don't want. There's not. You can't just You don't salvage that.
Like this is an unsalvageable mess.
God, pretty much that's what I mean. Yeah, 8's
a minute.
8's
I'm sorry, I keep wanting to get this in. A minute ago, you mentioned how before the final boss in 7, everyone kind of has their one-liner. I always remember that scene because I had Yuffie is 7. I had Yuffie in my party, and her line is about just wanting to steal all the materia in the world.
Fucking priorities.
So, yeah.
Yuffie's extremely good.
Extremely one-dimensional, but
yeah. It's better to have one dimension than no dimension. Like what was fucking Quistis's dimension?
She was hot for Squall.
Hot teacher.
She was hot for Squall briefly and then got over it. What was Selfie's dimension?
Trains.
I love trains. I'll take so Yuffie and Vincent are much
better. Zell loves them wieners.
Oh my god, I really don't like Final Fantasy.
Man, that game is so bad.
We tried to warn you.
Final Fantasy 7 is much better. Dominatrix Teacher isn't a personality.
And I'm still going to take the time to remind everybody that John played Final Fantasy VIII at a time when we were all encouraging John to play Dark Souls. John chose Final Fantasy VIII over Dark Souls.
I played Dark Souls a little bit later. It was much better.
You think?
But it was just this rebellious, like, everyone's telling me this game is terrible.
You were playing this game to prove a fucking point.
And then, by the end, oh, y'all were right, Jesus.
Not until the very end. Like, I think I got to it wasn't until the last dungeon that I turned on it. Like, I was kind of, like, trying to give it a chance the whole time in the last dungeon.
You kind of realize it's not going anywhere at that point, where it's just fucking bullshit at that point.
Yup. And then I did the exact same thing by playing half of Fate Stay Night in the last 2 weeks.
I would say that probably goes more places than Final Fantasy VIII for sure.
No, it's definitely...
Fate Stay Night goes to the fucking kitchen. That is all it does.
Okay, yes, but it does take like 800 hours to go anywhere, but it does, I think, go places.
God, I wish.
Like, imagine if you got to the soccer arc and you had no idea about the worms yet.
Tasty, tasty worm. So, Final Fantasy VII, it's a good
it's a mess.
That's
good
my
game.
piece there. Yep. 7 is good.
Yep.
If you like Nier Automata or the Adventure Zone, you should try Final Fantasy VII.
Or if you just, play a pretty good RPG, just play Final Fantasy VII. It's on fucking everything now.
Yeah.
On everything.
Yeah. So, we're ready for our next guest?
I'm ready to go pee.
You ready to go pee?
What's
John,
up, fuckers?
John, I'll tell you what.
John,
you go. You go do your pee thing, okay?
Okay.
And I will bring in the next guest.
Is it Chelsea?
Rhett, do you need to pee as well?
I'll stay.
All right. I'm going to bring in our next guest. So, next guest, shoot me a message. Let me know you're good. Like I told you in the DM. And Rhett's going to sing a song.
Oh, God. My name is Sephiroth. I like to
Drink
reunite
broth.
with Mother and drink broth. I stab people in the back because I'm a dick. I killed your girlfriend. Ha ha. I'm. Are you ready yet? This one's taking
We're
longer.
getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay. Oh, it's Luigi.
It's Luigi. Might have a case of them shines. That's shine addiction. I'm sure they'll answer at some point. Don't worry. All right. So, are you here? A guest number 2? I heard them for a second.
It's me.
Why are you typing? I can hear you typing.
My mic is muted. That's what I'm typing.
Okay.
No, I was joking about that. I don't know.
Sayara can't hear for some reason.
That's
weird. Plug your fucking headphones in.
Hello?
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 Internet is stupid.
Are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear
All
me?
right! We did it! We made the internet work! I have performed a miracle on this day. I've done it. All right, so you know this fine person as the person who drew the awesome art you're looking at now that we're shitting up with our chat.
How come you didn't draw me as IF?
Oh my god.
You're based off of IF. Does that count?
I know, but you changed the outfits, and me and Polly are very
me?
in disagreement.
Why are you? Okay, I was about to say
we disagree.
You're not gonna say that I'm pissed about this.
Okay, so here's the story. At first, I was gonna have everybody in like the Neptunia-esque outfits, but as I was pulling together the background images to make the
collage,
quilted background or whatever, I found the BB artwork, the one that has Polly with the super like leather outfit, and I was like, I'm gonna use those outfits again because it's Love Live, and I wanted to use Love Live again for something.
Oh, so I was right that these are Love Live outfits.
Yeah. Well, yours and John's are. Polly's is kind of like a bastardization of the middle girls and the usual thing I draw her in.
See, there you go. So it's
kind of like a hodgepodge.
It's a hodgepodge of Neptunia plus a little Love Live in there because we always
Polly's 2 favorite things.
We always give the artist room to breathe when we ask them for things. That's how I always look at it. It's like, take your own creative freedom at it. I was just like, I like this shot. I think it's cool, and I think it would be a good representation. And then Sayara, who is the current guest, welcome, took that inspiration and made a very cool thing that I am very, very happy with. So, and we have a Chelsea in chat. Look at that.
You finally noticed.
I have not been looking at the chat. I'm not good at multitasking. You know this, bitch.
What a shame.
What a shame. So, Sayara, any hot takes you want to drop on us now that we've got you on another live show?
I don't play video games.
You don't?
Video games are stupid.
Well, thanks for coming.
Hey! Good show, chat.
Cheers.
Talk about Phantasy Star Online 2.
Oh, no, don't do that. I've banned PSO2 from the podcast.
Okay, here's my hot take.
What's your hot take?
Hero is fun. PSO2
Hero is fun.
All right, go talk about PSO2 then. Go do that.
I'm done. I called it shit. I called the one mode fun. The end.
Boom. Hot takes, motherfucker.
Done.
Anybody you want to call a bitch this time?
I'm just gonna do my usual calling Listening Garden a bitch because she's a bitch for calling me a bitch in the chat.
Bitch!
Being rude as fuck as
I know.
usual.
How fucking rude, right?
I have to work for this bitch and she don't do all this rude stuff to me.
Damn.
And what have you.
Damn.
No respect. No respect whatsoever, I tell you.
It's just like an endless string of bitch.
Bitchception.
Bitchception, indeed. So,
yes.
So since you don't play video games or do anything ever, actually, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I want to talk about what's going on at Chinatown.
Hey, who's the guest?
Who's the guest? The guest is Sarah. Welcome back from your
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Welcome back from your pee break, John.
Oh, I was like, was it more like nonsense going on out there? So you moved, and that's cool.
It is. Feels good.
That's good news.
Feels good to be done.
Done peeing or done moving?
Yes.
Both.
Always both.
Oh,
I can tell you the fun dumb shit I'm getting myself into.
Let's do
because
it.
trying
Let's
to
go.
build a- Okay, so as some people may or may not know, I'm trying to become a teacher.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, imagine that. And
Cool.
so I looked up the information in my state about, getting myself a teaching degree and being able to teach and quit working retail like a dumb bitch for the last 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it's pretty freaking complicated.
Just a bit. Yeah.
Like, first I have, just like the certification test, like, how lawyers have the bar, they have to take the bar exam to be able to be certified to be a lawyer or whatever. Teachers have one of those called the Praxis. And the first one is called the Praxis Core, which is just basically, do you know how to read? Do you know how to do basic math?
It's
And
also a cool name for like the final boss.
It may as well be. So it's
I was
like,
gonna say.
I gotta take this test. I'm like, all right, cool, no big deal, whatever. So turns out that in my state, you need an actual teaching bachelor's or bachelor's degree to be even considered to start teaching in the state.
Oh.
And I didn't know that, so I got myself an associate's in art education and a bachelor's in fine studio arts. So, I'm certified to make shitty artwork for the internet.
You do a great job of making shitty art for our shitty podcast, if that makes you feel any better.
It's reassuring. So I'm like, oh shit. So that means I have to go back to school and get a teaching degree.
Oof.
But I looked into it, and they're like, well, you can also use this other method where you apply for some thing called the MCET, and if I get accepted into this thing and, go through the whole procedure, I'll be able to get an alternative teaching degree. So
Okay.
It's like, first I gotta take the test, be certified. Then I gotta be accepted into this program. Then I gotta take another set of praxis tests based on whatever subject I want to talk about and principles of teaching. So it's like, you want to teach math? Okay, you got a test for math. You want to teach English? Here's a test for English. You want to teach automotive repair jobs? You got a test for that too. My favorite part, there's an art version of this test.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the most god-awful looking test I've ever seen in my entire life.
But
It's
okay,
like-
what is it like? What do they make you draw?
Okay, first, it's about the tools and techniques and how to do all the different it's the drawing 101 type bullshit. They want you to know all that stuff.
Yeah,
which is, fair
obviously.
enough.
That's fair.
They have another section about art theory and art history, which, I come to expect that, because you got to know who you're talking about when you throw out the name Van Gogh or de Kooning or, Pollock or whatever.
Or
You gotta know who
Sayara.
they are. Let's be reasonable here.
I'm very reasonable.
Give me another 80 years when I'm dead, then I'll become famous, then we'll talk.
Yeah, everybody gets famous when they die.
Yeah, it's true. So it's like, yeah, you gotta to do all this stuff for art history and art theory and all that nonsense. The final part is to present your artwork and answer interpretation questions about your artwork. And I'm just thinking, man, how am I gonna get away with showing some of the nonsense that I do?
Oh my.
The paint splatter nonsense on my wall behind me, like this 8-foot by 10-foot monstrosity. How am I gonna sit here, take a picture of it, and explain what the fuck I was thinking about doing when I make this thing
Oh,
to be certified
boy.
to teach kids how to do art. It's like, yeah, if it was like some old timers or whatever at the community center, hey, what the fuck, go for it. But I don't really see that's gonna work out too well for like teaching kids or whatever. Not only that, but I feel like unfortunately art is kind of getting the bucket for stuff that you can do in school nowadays, because everything is so busy about being tests and history and studying and memorizing and reading books and stuff that they won't have any relevance to after they're finished.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I really want to try get pass this teaching test for art and then try to find a job for teaching art in this state? It doesn't seem very likely. If I was in New York or somewhere that's a bit more art flavored, maybe.
Yeah.
Like more open minded, I guess, because everywhere around here is just very butts.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like, yo, you like packing boxes and shit?
Yeah, basically.
You can get a degree for that.
Yeah, you really could. I got a PhD in stacking boxes and getting head trauma and injuring myself. Good times.
It's like real life Tetris degree.
Basically, we really have to have people learn Tetris if they're going to work in warehouses. But that's for another time. So I decided to give up on teaching art. Like, in a realistic sense, it's just,
kind of not going to happen, unfortunately.
It's not going to happen. And I'd rather teach something that I know that will make a difference for kids, because it's a good idea.
Absolutely.
So I decided to go math.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Cool.
So I'm gonna be, secondary level math, which is like algebra, geometry, and junk like that.
I hate all of that. I was miserable at all of it.
Well, you know what? If you ever have any math problems that involves algebra and geometry, you can hit me up, and I can be like, "Yo, Paulie, I can give you the answers."
You'll give me the answer in the form of one of your paintings, I would assume. You would think of the answer and use that as as your inspiration, and they'd be just like, "All right, Paulie, figure it the fuck out."
That would be amazing. And also to the listening garden who's calling it the worst subjects, you just don't understand. You don't understand what it means to
take it from me. Gardens just don't understand.
I really like math and loved math as a kid, and a big part of that was that I had some good math teachers that made it make sense to me.
Yeah, teachers often get like a really shitty rep by a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's like a good teacher can like make or break, a striving student. Like if there's like a kid who like really wants to learn, really excited about learning, and they just get shut up, it's like we gotta follow this core program or whatever. It breaks them. And then that's just a terrible thing to see happen to people who are excited about learning. Learning anything in general, because nowadays, why bother to do this stuff when I can just get it off of Google, or I can, get someone else to do it for me or whatever. It's like, yeah, but we can do better than that.
Yeah, we can do better. There is big importance in teaching people in a manner that sticks with them and has their best interests at heart. You're molding minds here. Somebody that that has taught people in the past various audio engineering things, where I've like gone back to where I went to school to do hey, could you do a lecture? And it's just like, okay, that's real intimidating. So for one, I kind of get where you're coming from the whole be a teacher thing. Like, that's real scary to a lot of degrees. But two, you also kind of like, I need to make sure I'm putting forth the best information possible in a way that it will fucking stick.
That's the hardest part.
That's why you throw a chair across the room to simulate reverb.
No.
I did that. I only did that because the teacher before me did that. And that's how I learned.
Good way to learn. Last year, I was tutoring for my cousin math, algebra, and my cousin, he's autistic,
Yeah.
So trying to get anything to stick with him is like, almost Mission Impossible kind of feeling. But by me, like, sitting there for like hours on hours, just going through the same thing over and over and over again for like any kind of subject in math, and like trying to explain it in a way it's like simple enough that finally it all clicked with him. It was a very satisfying moment. That's like, it's like, yeah, I gotta keep trying to do this. Enough of this nonsense with art, this retail job bullshit. This is what I gotta do to be good at it.
To put something positive into the world that is not, because it's not just because you're doing math, you're teaching math now, the art part of you has to go away or anything like that. You're still putting that part of yourself out into the world, but now you're going to be able to put something else out into the world that's on an entirely different level, and is also like, there's a huge importance to that as well, that I think that, it's not to down art or anything, but I think that there is practical use that can be had from what you're currently pursuing as well. And I think that that's kind of like and I think that that's what you're aiming for, as to, the more realistic way of looking at things, and I think that that's a really awesome thing.
Oh, definitely. But I also do help people with art if they ask me for it.
Right.
I had a couple people ask me, like, hey, I want to learn how to draw. Help. And I'm like, are you sure you really want to ask me about how to draw? Because the way that I draw is not normal, quote unquote normal. But, once I actually start talking to them and, like, going through what kind of bullshitty art theory, pretentious nonsense that I always spew out at them, they kind of get a lot more respect for what they can do, as opposed to, like, oh, my stuff is not like great anime person this, or whoever that they're trying to immortalize. I'm like, look, you want to do stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
Let me get to my art spiel, because I'm on a roll.
All right, go for it. Spiel away.
So when it comes to doing art, I always find the process of doing artwork more important than the final piece.
Right.
Which is, a lot of people really think otherwise. Like, people like to have the thing presented and say, this is the done thing.
This is the end game. This is the important part.
This.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's cool and all, but I liked the whole idea of what got to that point to get your final thing. It's like, what kind of things happened along the way? Like, well, how are you feeling when you decided to smash your head into this canvas and like make a blood stain on the wall? Or like, what made you think that using this color next to that color looks good? Or because it's all relative. You think that I like how these two things look together, and nobody can really tell you otherwise in the subjective form of it.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, sure, this looks really scary and I don't understand it, but that's fine. Everything doesn't have to be engaged in like, this is a picture perfect thing, or it looks like a how to draw manga Chris Hart bullshit thing you find at the Borders bookstore or whatever. Yeah. Everybody will get to their idea of what they consider their art just by doing it.
Yes.
And you just gotta learn that and appreciate what you end up doing is what you can do, and not try to compare yourself to you or me or whoever else. It's like, look, this is what I can do, and I'm doing this because I want to do it. If you're just doing art because you want to be successful, or you're just doing it because it's going to get you popular, whatever, you don't really get anything out of it. And it's just like, why are you wasting your time doing something that you don't really care for your own benefit?
Yeah.
Especially when it's not going to work to like, that's not like the number one easiest way to get super popular and make lots of money is making art.
You can draw all the frickin' Undertale porn you want and be successful, sure, but what's the point? Are you really getting anything out of it, or are you just trying to do something just for the sake of doing something and not really enjoying it?
Yeah, like it's the same way when you like read a lot of things, like written work. You can tell when somebody's writing just to write, and when there's actual honesty behind it, or like when somebody's doing something to try to improve themselves, like if you do a painting, like you're thinking about all of the stuff that you've mentioned, but there's also a part of the journey is, what did I learn in doing this? What techniques did I learn? Like, what new thing did I pick up on? There's a lot more to take away from anything that you've completed than just what the final product is.
Exactly. It's all of the about the experience as opposed to, like I said, the final thing is cool and all, but the experience, what you've learned, what you're feeling, and what ended up happening because of it, I feel like it's just more important to me. I mean, Tengu Gemini asks, can't it be both? And
in reference to,
it could go both ways.
I think Tengu Gemini was referring to whether or not Rhett likes Undertale porn or whether John likes Undertale porn.
Oh. But here, I thought I was gonna do something like.
You thought you were about to drop some. You thought you were about to drop some hot knowledge.
Man, I'm blowing this joy.
Fuck.
I really enjoyed that, Sarah. Thank you. I'm thinking a whole lot lately about just kind of how I want to grow as an artist and like the kind of things I want to create and why I want to create them. And it really is nice hearing another perspective.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, do what feels good for you. You know, that's got to be the bottom line. You want to do art, or you want to do drawing, or writing, or music making, or whatever, because it's something that you want to do to release whatever kind of creative energy that you want to, let free.
Yeah.
You know, like I draw, Polly, she'll make music, or Rhett will make Undertale porn. Whatever.
Rhett's making Undertale porn?
I don't know.
Rhett, is this like a side hobby of yours that you didn't tell us about?
Look, okay? Sans and, oh my god, I don't remember any of the other characters.
Toriel.
What, who?
Toriel. Those are the two you ship.
Sans and who?
Toriel. The mom.
Oh, right.
Sayara doesn't play video games, John.
I played Undertale for like a hot minute. I got to...
She's the first character.
Okay, I don't remember character names, alright? I remember fighting...
Tutorial.
She's a goat. She's a goat and a mom.
Goat mom. She gives you the cheese. No, is it pie?
It's pie.
Pie.
The pie.
She gives you cheese. Why not?
I want a goat mom that gives me cheese.
Video games.
I want Sayara to just like... Sometime I want Sayara to sit down and write what he thinks Undertale is from start to finish. Just on what he's absorbed through osmosis, I will read it on the podcast.
I'll consider it.
Funny.
I'll try to put it into my busy...
Your very busy schedule.
My nonsense schedule.
Your very busy schedule of having headaches and injuring yourself.
And obtaining the power of darn insomnia.
Damn! Alright. Well, Sayara, it has been a very enlightening and fantastic experience having you on here. This was an awesome topic, I think, that we got to talk about. It's usually like video games, movies, anime. And this was a really cool topic for us all to get to talk about because, we're all involved in some creative process. And it was really cool to kind of get an artist's perspective on that and see that a lot of the things that I think are really validated because I agree with this artist person that I admire a lot. So,
well, thank you for having me hop on aboard.
And a big thanks.
It's been very fun.
Yes,
it's been a very fun 2 years doing a good amount of your covers and stuff like that. I'm gonna post 2 tonight actually. Cause I've been sitting here working on stuff.
Oh damn.
Yes. One is going to be the background for the cast right now, so you can actually get a good one without all the stupid text blocking everything. And then I'm going to post one that I haven't even talked about yet.
Oh,
and it's going to be cool. And nobody's going to get the reference. But
Exclusive. Exclusive.
Holy cow.
It's yeah. But, having your art associated with our podcast, I think, gives it its own very unique identity. So many people pointed out that it's just your art, the art for your podcast is really, really cool. So it's great to have like someone whose art that I personally admire being a part of a thing that I get to do, and always getting to see like these results or what fun things are going to be happening to us on each one. It's a really cool thing, and I appreciate it.
I'm flattered.
Now
And thank
get
you.
the fuck off my podcast, bitch.
Bye, fuck you, bitch. Have a good night, y'all.
Later. All right, so I tell you what. You know what it's time for? It's time for us to get up, stretch the old legs out, go
John
empty.
already took a piss.
Well, he gets to do it again. Get up, empty the old bladder, grab yourself a refill on that hot tea you've been drinking.
Yay!
Do you know? Hey, make your butt not numb anymore from sitting here, because we're gonna cruise into the last couple portions of the podcast. When we come back, I'm gonna tell you how you can get some questions answered. So I want everybody to chill. We're gonna play some music. I'm gonna tell these two ding dongs that when we come back, it's still gonna be live. So be careful. Don't go talking shit about anybody. And we will be.
Sire's such a bitch. Jesus.
Oh god damn.
Oh, is this my fuck?
All right, folks. We will catch you in like 5-10 minutes. Do some chilling. We got some music for you. Just do some hanging. Hello, we're back a little early. We'll get things going back to the show here in a moment. But I'm back. I know Rhett's back.
I'm just jamming to the Sonic Colors soundtrack.
Jamming to the Sonic Colors soundtrack. I thought that was good break music. I like that.
Yeah.
I like me some Sonic Colors. The game's pretty good.
It is. Boy, I was replaying a bit of Generations because, I got the Sonic Mania.
Oh, you got that, do you? No, you don't have the Sonic Mania.
No, I've got the actual Sonic infection.
You got no. It got delayed 2 weeks. Took away all your hype.
Well, I was hyped, so I was playing Sonic Generations, and I'm like, man, physics in this maybe not as good as I remembered.
That's still all right.
I mean, it's still perfectly playable, but there are a lot of moments where he's just like, I'm just going to fall off the stage here, bye! And you're like, what? Like, the 2D stuff maybe doesn't...
It's a little wonky because it still uses the same physics as 3D Sonic, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's a little wonky, but it's still...
Yeah, I still love that game, but maybe.
Yeah, I'll finally come around and I'll say it. Sonic 4 is bad. I wasn't fishing that, but it is fun. Apparently, I read that Sonic 4 was actually going to be Sonic the Mobile, and then they were like, fuck it, let's put it on consoles. Oh God.
And there's a billboard in one of the backgrounds that you can very barely make out. It says Sonic the Mobile or something.
Yeah, it's really stupid. It's really stupid.
I don't know about episode 2. Maybe that one was.
2 does still feel better.
Yeah.
I recently replayed both of those games, and episode 1 is irredeemable.
Okay, then finally.
You finally got it out of me.
So fucking ridiculous.
Episode 2, it's still wonky, but it is markedly better.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
God, when I first loaded up Sonic 4 Episode 1, though, and I saw those backgrounds...
they're pretty good, aren't they?
They're so... It's like the epitome of just, high-res assets looking terrible, because they're just...
Like that Final Fantasy VI remake they did, where they made all of the new sprites.
Oh, that thing is the worst.
Yeah, it's not... Ugh, it's not very good.
Yeah, if I do a deep dive into Sonic before playing Mania, it's going to be Generations, then 2, 3 Knuckles.
Why not 1? It's the best.
Yeah, sure.
I've got bad opinions about everything. Oh, man. Oh, this is also part of our normal podcasting procedure. Waiting for John to get back.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Super hot. You never played that, did you?
No, I'm cheap.
That game is real good, right? I'm cheap too. I played it using Family Share.
Yeah, see, realizing you've done a lot of stuff that way is like, oh, well, that's why you get to play all these games.
Oh, Rhett, I told you I'll Family Share with you, God.
Sounds like I need to family share with who you're family sharing with, though.
Why? I've got a lot of good games, too. You saying my taste in games is bad, bitch?
Did you buy Super Hot? Did you buy Danganronpa?
Go to sleep, Brett. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep now.
Oh, Eric's Joystick is joined us.
Yo! It's Eric's Joystick of twitch.tv/Eric's Joystick.
Gotta have it in every episode.
Yeah. Even though, this part is not gonna be, in the episode. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna put this together. Just release it unedited. Who fucking cares?
I like the bullshitty parts.
The bullshitty parts. The entirety of the Sockscast. We got 73 episodes of that. The bullshitty part.
But I mean the stuff that's not scripted at all.
Yeah, we script everything. Every line.
Yeah. You know what I mean. I mean,
I swear the Sockscast is literally, when it comes back, it's just going to be, I'm going to put us in a call, I'm going to press record, and there's not going to be any structure at all. Just fucking talk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would be more fun. Instead, it's and then Sayara's going to be the guest, and then then it just says bitch 10 times in the podcast text, but besides that, it's all scripted.
Yeah, it's all scripted.
all those songs I'm doing, I'm not improvising. That's all written down right here.
Yeah, you like really, you were agonizing over these lyrics last minute. I was really, I'm pretty happy with how they've turned out so far.
I've actually thought about it though during the break. If you could call me for a third song,
you got one?
I know who it's going to be about.
All right. Well, we are going to have like a final guess, so you will get to.
First one was Witcher, second one was Sephiroth, so I know who the third.
Cool.
If John ever gets back.
Yeah, John will get back one of these years, I swear.
He's having butt problems.
Oh no! The worst kind. It's a good song.
It's a good game, and with a good soundtrack.
Yeah. Except that opening theme. Man, I can't. No, I can't! Okay, all right, Lewis, you have a good evening. You can catch the rest. You can catch the rest when we post it. We'll be posting this as an archive, of course. You have a good evening. I never know whether to call him Lewis or Luis.
I don't either.
I was hoping you'd have the answer for me, Rhett.
Nope.
You failed me yet again!
I'm here.
I depend on you for one thing in this podcast, and that is making sure I get people's names right. What the fuck? Hello, John.
Okay, so we worked out that earlier. I told Chelsea to play Undertale, and she said to play Trails in the Sky. So deal.
You got a deal then. Awesome.
Kick ass. Chelsea plays Undertale, and you play all of Trails in the Sky.
All of it.
It's like an hour for an hour. It is. Yeah.
All right. So is everybody ready? Is chat ready for us to kind of come in and start getting this thing going again? Are the co-hosts ready as well?
Yes.
All right. So, since we're just going to leave all that bullshit in, I'm not going to make an edit point. I'm going to leave the songs in too. I don't give a shit. I hope you you like good songs? Guess what? You got it. You're welcome.
Wait, did someone sing Sonic Colors music?
No, I was playing it during the intermission.
Okay, cool. Because I
That's all I had. I just brought up the playlist of Sonic Colors and picked 9 songs on it and threw them in a playlist and was like, that'll be intermission music. All right.
I'm just like, whenever I'm like whenever I'm in a bad zone, I can just go, I'm gonna reach for the stars.
You would like the fucking
It's funny
songs.
though.
We were just talking about how that opening theme is terrible.
What?
Yeah, Polly's like,
that opening theme's garbage.
Except the opening song.
I'm gonna find my own way.
And robot all the way.
Live and learn.
Oh.
Hanging on the edge of tomorrow.
Oh, by the by, Sonic Advance is good, and yeah, someone was talking about that.
Sonic Advance 2 is not so good.
I believe it. Sonic Advance 1 is cute.
Yeah, I like 1. I don't like 2, and I especially don't like 3. Yeah, fuck it. We're back. Let's take that BRP away. We've been back for a while. All right. So, hey,
you know what's really great?
What's really great?
The color that I'm gonna reach for the stars, even though it looks pretty far, and they play it during the final boss.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It's very good. All right, continue.
All right. Hey, Polly. What you been into? Well, hey, I have 2 words for y'all. Are you ready? They're very magical words that I think will revolutionize the entire genre of games that this game fits into when you hear these 2 words. Are you ready?
Okay.
Turbo mode. Turbo mode. So turbo mode is a new kind of like I guess you would call it a hack, because I don't think that it was in the originals at all. I believe the translation editor / translation programmer kind of worked this in, and I'm not sure that if it started in Trails of Cold Steel and then they moved to add it to other games, or if it was just kind of like something that popped up at random. But Turbo Mode was recently added to The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, which is a game series that I started playing probably over a year ago. And I finished the first one, and it's fantastic. And when I finished the first game, it was quite literally, oh god, I need to fucking play the second one right the fuck right now. And I tried to do that, and it didn't quite work out well, because I needed a little break from that kind of game, it turned out, because it in its current form, or it's, well, at the time, a current form, it's a little slow. Like, battle animations can be really slow at coming out, or running back and forth between towns to finish quests can kind of be a bit of a problem. So Turbo Mode was something that was added. Chelsea confirms in the chat that this was added with Cold Steel. And what this does is it lets you hold the right trigger to speed the game up to a degree with which you set in the options. It's just like, do you want battle animations to play at X speed when this button is held down, or how fast do you want to move in the field when this is held down? And when I saw this was added to Trails in the Sky, I was like, well, fuck, I've still got Trails in the Sky second chapter installed. Let me just throw it on and see how this works. This will be like a fun little thing that I can post about on Twitter in about 10 minutes. And then it was 4 hours later. So I ended up accidentally getting back into Trails in the Sky, and it was one of the best things I could have ever done. Because fucking Trails in the Sky SC is, oh my god, it's so good. It continues like the great storytelling and writing and characters that you get, like literally just like moments from where the first game leaves off. And there's just so much great dialogue and story, and like it's a game where like they've literally thought of something for everybody in the entire world to say after every single fucking story event. So everybody always has a reaction to the newest stuff in the story. But like, it's just, wow, they put this story together. It's really good. And but where do you begin without spoiling it is the problem, you know, because so I can't talk too many specifics, but I do want to talk some specifics about this game. And that one, Estelle Bright is, I think, the template for how you write a character, a protagonist of a story that evolves over time, that has believable growth, that is sincere, and that is entirely fucking believable. Estelle is like a very flawed person, but she doesn't let those flaws define her. She's determined, and like she's tomboyish, but she doesn't let that like the fact that she is very tomboyish isn't something that she laments. Like she embraces that part of her, and in that becomes feminine in her own way. And like the love story that gets built on top of her character evolving and growing over the course of this unfolding story is just, I don't think I've seen a video game love story written this well. Like, it has got so many, cool. and it's grounded in reality is the thing. Like, everything.
I didn't know there was a love story.
It's a very good love story.
Oh!
Yeah, you just sold this game for John.
Oh my goodness!
But the way that this love story plays out, it's not written how you would usually expect, like a JRPG thing that could kind of go super anime and melodramatic. Like, the feelings the characters have are real. Like, they have these moments where they're just kind of alone, and it's just like, man, like, everything really sucks right now. holy crap. And like the big emotional moment in this game is something they could have played up to this ridiculous degree, like using, you know, kind of an anime over the top, like, oh, like, you know, crying and whatnot. And it actually turns out to be this scene where these characters that are involved, like, learn a lot about themselves, and it's a huge reflection on the journey that these characters have taken up to this point. And it feels honest and sincere and just absolutely, like, true to itself, like, without ever having to dip into the anime bag of tricks or like, J-drama, like, over-theatric nonsense. It's very grounded, and everybody involved is written so well and so believably. And that's not even talking about the side characters, who all have their own little stories that play out, that have bits of tragedy and, like, things that they all like, everybody in this story, they have to overcome something, and they have to do it, or they as a person cannot grow. They have things they need to get past, and I've not really seen JRPG characters handled this way. And it kind of puts, like, basically everybody involved in this game's story, like, 10 or 15 rungs above almost every other JRPG I've ever played.
Jesus, this is some high praise.
Like, it's, like, the writing is not like anything I've seen in a game's storytelling. If in this genre, it's just, everybody's defined, and everything is just kind of, just, man, perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Well, it has moments where I kind of roll my eyes a little bit. I can't lie, but those moments don't take away from, like, the huge strides that the writers of this game were making and wanting to tell this really heartfelt story that has also got this huge climax that is so ridiculous and crazy, and just, like, the last few chapters of the game, everything starts popping off, and it's just like, it's all fucking earned. Like, there isn't a moment in Trails in the Sky, both games, there's not a moment that's not earned. And I think that really makes it something very special. And, like something else I really appreciate about this game is that it has, like, really, really amazing female representation. All of the female characters in this game are very well defined, and a lot of the female characters in this game are in very prominent positions of, like, military and government, and they're never questioned. That's never questioned. It's just this world. The reality is, hey, like, strong women, you know, doing their part, and, like, just absolutely, like, earning every amount of respect they have, not having to, like, live up to a guy's terms. Like, I don't think that that's actually brought up in the dialogue at all. Is like, oh, well, you know, like, for a girl getting this far, like, I don't think that that's ever brought up once. And that's kind of incredible.
That's really nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it's like the women are badass, and they're feminine, and they're tomboyish, and they're sexy, but they don't have to resort to, like, the kind of tropes that you would expect them to have to, like, you know, to appeal in other games.
What about the one girl with the whip who's kind of seems like the Iris Heart?
She's like her design, like under that belies a very, very good character. Like, Sherazard is really awesome. She's she's a big sister to Estelle in a lot of ways, and they have a lot of really emotional moments together where they're kind of like, you know, like where Sherazard's kind of like diving into, you know, Estelle's psyche a bit to kind of like, you know, like, this is what you're feeling right now, you know, like, why don't you like you know, like, and like, she's such a good big sister to Estelle that their relationship is very sweet and very honest and sincere, and like don't let her looks, like, you know, don't let her look, like, sway you. She's, and yeah, like, she's got the whip, and she's like her attack, her main major attack is called Sadist Whip. Like, it's like, yeah.
It's just that I've only played the prologue of the first game, so like the moment where she pulls out the whip and all of a sudden has this heel turn basically, and you're just like, wait, what? You're into that? Okay. She's like, I'm gonna torture the info out of you guys.
But see, like like this game has a lot of seriousness to it, and a lot of just like, it's not darkness, because this game isn't really dark. It has dark moments, but it is not dark inherently. Like, I would put this game's tone somewhere like around Lunar, where there's a lot of levity in the script too. So like there's a lot of great humor, and it's really, really quite it's quite the game in terms of its characters and story, and they really make sure to take care of those characters and not let anybody slip too far into tropiness. It's really cool. Cool. And it's just like, so you play Trails in the Sky, the first one, you get your ending, and you're like, I have to play number 2 right fucking now. You finish second chapter, you get a fantastic grand finale with like a final boss that is just amazing and fantastic, and you get resolution, you get a lot of the things that you've been wanting out of this story for a long time. That give you these moments of catharsis, kind of like, just like, you get moments of catharsis all throughout this game, but you get some of the bigger ones like right at the end. They wait, they pull it all, they throw all of their emotional punches, and then you get your satisfying ending, and you're like, that feels good, I can put this down now. And then there's like this one little string that they leave hanging, and it's I started out playing this as like, I won't have to play Trails in the Sky the third. Like, it's a side story. It's, whatever. And then there's this little itty bitty thread right at the end of 2 that's just like, there's a little bit more you could talk, there's a little bit more here if you feel like digging. I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, if you really want to. And I'm like, fuck! I have to. So now I have to play Trails the Third at some point.
Yeah. You're going to finish that, and it's going to have some tease for Cold Steel, I bet.
This is connective fiber to Cold Steel, because these games do, like this and Cold Steel, take place in the same actual continent.
Yeah, like Cold Steel comes after the third.
Yeah, it's just
Where
like...
does Dragon Slayer fit in? Just in the canon?
It fits in the trash can, because that game's kind of not fun.
Yeah, that's what I've gathered. Continue.
But yeah, it's just... It's hard to think of many RPGs that I've played that have left me so thoroughly satisfied than the first 2 Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky games, and I'm very eager to get to sink my teeth into the third at some point. But I'm gonna let that go for now. Like, I can't jump right back into that kind of game because it is built on the same engine. I can't get, I need a little, I learned that trying to jump from 1 to 2 so fast. So, but yeah, those games are worth playing. Like, when it's all said and done, Trails in the Sky, like, may actually land in my top 5 RPGs ever. I enjoy it that much, and I look back so fondly on my time with it. And the way I kind of had to approach it was just like, like turbo mode really, really helped that. And I think that that'll make it a lot more accessible to a lot more people, because I think that like a lot of the way the game is structured and the way you kind of have to focus on side quests sometimes, I think that kind of, gets people down a little bit.
Yeah.
But the turbo mode thing definitely helps a lot. Yes.
I'm curious, how fast does it get?
I mean, things? Like, you can have it as fast as you want it. Like, it's times 1 to times 6, and you adjust like your field speed, and then you can adjust battle animation speed, and you just hold down right trigger, and then it just does that. So it's probably in your options somewhere. Just open use the launcher next time.
I was just thinking, times 6 sounds pretty damn fast, so that's good enough.
Yeah.
I just was curious if there was a max.
God damn. This
If you
sounds
could be
really
like,
good.
imagine if it was just uncapped frame rate, and like,
God.
if your computer on this old ass PSP game can do 1,000 frames a second, it's just gonna run that fast now.
That would be pretty funny. A lot of the animations in this game would look really stilted and silly that way.
This kind of reminds me of like emulator speed up stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, but it seems like it's a little more managed than that, at least.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool. So yeah, Trails in the Sky. You can't fucking go wrong with it, I don't think. I mean, unless you don't like JRPGs, and that's totally fine.
I've liked them in the past.
Yeah.
May have to give this a shot finally.
Yeah, I think that
everyone's saying it was good, but then Polly saying it was good is like, oh, fine. Polly's never wrong, so
exactly. I'm never fucking wrong.
True.
But yeah,
damn, yeah, that sounds really good.
Like
I didn't know it was a love story.
Yeah. So like, John's immediately in now. John's got it in his Steam cart, in his shopping cart. Like,
okay, let me tell you this. I own Trails in the Sky on Steam because I bought it when I was on sale, and I was like, well, I'm gonna play this eventually. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, then I got the Vita. Like, this was like 2 or 3 years ago when I bought it.
Vita
and I was like, hey, I could get Trails in the Sky on this, and then I could play this on the go. And then I bought it on Vita.
Holy
the
shit!
PSP version. So I've had it downloaded since I got the Vita.
I don't think the console versions got turbo mode.
Nope. So it's lucky that I got the Steam version, basically. So I guess even though playing RPGs on the Vita is the ideal video game playing experience, I think I can play it on Steam and have a real good time.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I guess other than that, like, hey, Poly Dungeon, that's getting some work done. Like, we got back to work on that damn thing, and since we stopped doing podcasts, and holy shit, like, we're getting close. Like, cool. Rhett, is helping me work on it, of course. Yeah. And
so much help with breaking everything with the fucking gold code.
That was good. That was
a fucking stressful few nights.
I can imagine. But
when you're just like, Reddit broke again, I'm like, oh god damn it.
But yeah, we got a shit ton of work done on Poly Dungeon when we stopped doing podcasts, and I started kind of focusing down on getting content ready. I would say we're probably around 80% content complete, and we just got to kind of like get that finished and get it out to some testers, and hopefully people will be playing it real soon. I'm pretty happy with it. The people that have played it, who are going to be beta testers, I know, they really like it. They really dig it, and yeah. So yeah, that's basically all I've been doing. Is I accidentally played Trails in the Sky, and then and I've been working a shit ton on Poly Dungeon. So
making games is great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We should do more of it.
Yep. Agreed.
So before I pull in our final guest of the evening, who I will tell to get ready, y'all can start sending some questions to Rhett. What you're going to want to do is you're going to click on his name and you're going to send him a whisper. And just send him a question. If there's something you'd like to ask him that, we'll talk about at the end of the show. I'm not going to guarantee that we'll get to all of them. So if we don't end up getting to your question or we don't ask your question, Rhett says that he will buy you a thing on your Steam wish list. So, hey, now it's time to play the lottery, right? So you can go ahead and start getting those questions into Rhett, and I will hopefully be getting our next guest set up while Rhett is going to sing us a song.
My name is Estelle Bright. I have a big stick. I don't know much else about Estelle because I've only played the prologue.
I didn't know Estelle was a rapper.
Well, I tried to be a little more musical this time.
Keep going.
I remind you that I have a very big stick. I've got a stepbrother or something, I think. Joshua, yeah.
And he's got a limp.
No. Does he? I'm a bracer, is that what it is?
Yeah, you're a bracer. You're a bracer.
Yeah.
The Bracer Guild.
My teacher has a whip. She likes to do things to guys to extract information.
You're so good at songs.
Yeah.
Why don't we get you to do a song every episode from now on?
No.
Boom! I'm pulling in the next guest. Hello.
Yo.
What up, yo?
Are we live?
Yo.
Yes.
We live. It is the composer of our hot fucking theme song, host of the Album Listening Club. Huh? That thing? Remember that?
That's the thing that exists.
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of.
It totally exists.
Existed.
It's dead. It's dead, unfortunately. Sorry. Rat, fuck off.
Sorry, I forgot that was going to make a sound.
I don't have the sounds on anymore.
Oh, good.
I killed him. It's our good pal, Taylor.
Indeed, it is I.
Hey, Taylor.
Yeah.
I thought of something that we could do. We
What's that?
could drop a hot bomb on these motherfuckers right now. They don't know what's coming, but me and you do. What do you think?
Yeah.
You think we should drop it on them?
Yeah, let's drop the bomb.
Let's drop the bomb. All right. So,
Official announcement.
official announcement, everybody. Everybody tuning in.
Oh, shit.
Oh, what?
Real quick, though. Listening Garden, Katsa ALC will never happen because I hate Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, that's it. You're off my podcast. We're done.
Anyway, drop the bomb.
Hold on. I'm getting over my anger. Give me a moment. Hold on. I'm still not over my anger.
Shiori says that this friendship is over as well.
Damn. Me and Shiori, we're gonna go be girlfriends because united against you.
The onus of your relationship.
Yep.
Is anger over the fact that
we bonded over
that
you having shitty music taste.
That over my belief that Josh Homme can go eat poop.
Oh my god! Listen to this. Listen.
It's like 90%. It's like 90% that Josh Homme is just an asshole.
All right. So the hot bombshell is myself and Taylor. In lieu of the Album Listening Club kind of having to go away because of there's some real life stuff, timing issues and everything, and lack of interest on in some regards. We'll still be doing our top 10s at the end of the year though, so we'll still be bothering you about that. But myself and Taylor have decided to start a different kind of music listening podcast.
One with a more consistent theme, let's say.
A more consistent theme and an end point.
Yes.
Huh.
The podcast the podcast is called God is in the Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knows what that means, so I'm going to go ahead and explain it. We are going to be listening to each and every mainline Marilyn Manson release, and we will be discussing them. But here's the catch: every album will have a different guest, and that guest has to have not had experience with either that album or Marilyn Manson. Because me and Taylor, we're pretty big Marilyn Manson fans, I would say.
Yeah, you could. That is a thing that could be said.
So, we want to kind of have someone on that doesn't have that experience to kind of get the fresh experience. And we thought that would be a really fun way to kind of go at something that, like we have a vested mutual interest in, and something that has an end point that's not going to be this thing that's going to be hard to pull together all the time. And we think that will just be a really fun thing. So that's like our hot new bombshell. That's we're going to try and do something, getting the first episode of that out, probably next month sometime, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to be doing kind of an intro episode of Spooky Kids material to go over to kind of give you an idea of where all of this started. And then after that, we will move on to Portrait of an American Family. So we've already got a guest for that one, so don't bother me about it. But from Antichrist Superstar on, we don't have people. So if you're not a Marilyn Manson fan or have not been familiar with any of his albums, we'll keep you in mind.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this podcast is going to peak about as early as Manson's career.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But it'll be mostly smooth sailing until about, what is it? Episode 5, episode 6.
Oh God, there's gonna be there's gonna be a high end of low, let's say.
Yeah. And a low end of low.
And a low end of low. There is the definite low end of low. That 2003 to 2007 period. Woo-hoo.
Vanner Orion asked, does listening to his live album count? Are you asking if you listening to his live album counts as having experience, or if we're going to be listening to his live album? Yeah, I'm going to lean towards no, because live albums are pointless.
Yeah, live albums are kind of shitty. Don't like them. But if you listen to the live album, you'd still be eligible.
Yeah.
Because that's just a compilation. But that, But
we'll just put you on the Hollywood. We'll put you on the Hollywood episode.
Oh God, man!
I've only listened to Antichrist Superstar, but I've always been kind of like wanting to know without really doing it myself, doing the work myself. So I think listening to y'all talk about these other albums is to be really fun.
Well, hey, you are an eligible participant.
I am.
Well, you haven't listened. Go ahead. You haven't listened. We can't spend too much more time talking about this. Yeah. But you haven't listened to his entire discography.
Okay. Yeah, I've only listened to Antichrist Superstar.
Okay, you're good. You are eligible to be a guest on anything that is not Antichrist Superstar.
Yes. Cool. All
right. Taylor.
Yes.
How's it going? You sound dead tired.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty fucking wiped.
Yeah.
I don't know how aware everybody is, but I basically just got off of a 4-hour plane ride back home a few hours ago.
To do this shit.
Yes.
Imagine having to come back from a 4-hour plane ride and talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, that's not as bad as having to go to school tomorrow.
Oh, God. Is that a thing you have to do, too?
Yep. Law school season 2.
I feel bad for you. Really bad.
Yeah, I only have 2 classes per day, 4 days a week, so it's not horrible, but my sleeping schedule is just completely fucked. So.
Damn.
Yeah, jeez.
That's crazy. So is there anything in particular on your mind that you'd like to present to us? And just hey, let's talk about a thing, and it better not be about how Queens of the Stone Age is bad, or I'll hang up on you right now.
Oh no, that's something I've only thought about because she already brought it up.
Oh.
Because I'm reading the chat.
I never read the chat, ever. Which I really should, given that this is a special anniversary show. But man, I am the laziest Discord admin. I am the worst streamer ever. I never pay attention to my chat. And then when it's a big live event like this, I'm just you're focused on interaction with the chat. I'm just fuck the chat.
Yeah, I mean, the streaming I can understand because you're working with one eye, but...
Yeah.
If you're reading the chat, say my butt hurts according to Bonertron.
Yeah, there you go. If you're reading the chat, say my butt hurts.
Alright, well, so I played some video games.
Whoa! People do that still?
Yep.
Whoa.
I played some video games and then I watched my girlfriend play a video game.
Oh, damn.
So the video game I played while she watched is a little thing called Until Dawn. It's a game that I've played before, but it's fresh in my memory because I played it again.
This is David Cage, right?
Say that again?
No, this is not
No.
David Cage. No.
No, Until Dawn is a good game.
Wait,
Oh.
which one's David Cage? Oh, okay. I was
That's,
confused.
He's
David
Beyond
Cage.
Two Souls.
And Heavy Rain.
Beyond Two Souls.
Heavy
Okay.
Rain, yeah.
For some reason, I think I was mixing it up with Beyond Two Souls.
But this
Okay.
game is a similar style, but done right, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a David Cagean kind of walk around in QTE simulator.
Which is fine. It's just
Yep.
David Cage's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I understand.
So it's basically a deconstruction of your classic slasher movie.
Okay.
So it opens up. You're in the Alberta, Canada wilderness in the middle of winter,
Uh-huh.
and there's a bunch of teenagers who are staying at the winter getaway of their rich friend's parents.
Oh, wow. I kind of want them all to die already.
Yeah, well, so what happens is that, God, I would have to count, but basically, the way it opens up is that there's a bunch of people who are going to play a prank on one of the twin sisters who is the parent, who is like the... There's sort of three siblings. There's a set of identical twins and an older brother. They're the parents of they're the children of the rich parents.
Yeah, okay.
So one of them has a crush on sort of like the high school bad boy, who is currently dating somebody else. So they decide they're all going to, like 5 of them decide they're going to play a prank on her by luring her into a bedroom with a fake note from the dude saying, "Hey, let's fuck."
That's pretty fucked up.
And then they sort of all, as she starts taking her shirt off, they sort of burst out from the closet and from under the bed with a camera. And she runs off into the woods.
That's really fucked up.
Yeah. So then, so 2 characters are not not privy to any of this because they're passed out drunk in the kitchen. And the girl's twin sister goes chasing off after her.
Uh-huh.
And when they catch up, they get driven off of a cliff by something that you don't see except from a first-person perspective, and they fall to their deaths.
Yay!
And so the game picks up 1 year later where the brother invites them all back.
Why does this sound like the second Jason movie or something?
I've heard it compared to I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and there are a few others that kind of have that same premise of coming back to after something terrible happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that this game is not what you think it's going to be.
Well, that's good, because we don't want to spoil the whole thing, obviously, because this is a game that I want to play too. So we can't do a full walkthrough here.
Yeah, it's a PS4 exclusive, but I mean, that's the prologue, and it kind of introduces you to the basic mechanics like exploration, finding hidden items called totems that can give you brief glimpses into the future, and QTEs.
There's
always
a QTE
important.
to take your top off, isn't there?
Don't think so, but I mean, not in like the timed QTE way, but they try to make it more immersive by like, whenever your character reaches out to grab something, you have to hit R2 and then maneuver your hands around with the right stick.
Oh, okay. See, like I thought that would be one of their tutorial things, is like in the opening, that's your QTE, is take your top off.
Press B to boobs.
Press B to boobs!
Yeah. Well, press circle to boobs. This
I
is
know, there's not a B on the
exclusive.
PS4 controller.
You
but
gotta
the
roll
joke
with it
didn't
here.
work.
You gotta roll with it.
No, so you come back 1 year later and like weird shit starts happening, and you don't really know. And there's not really too much I can say about it that wouldn't involve spoilers, but
Yeah.
sort of like the brother invites you all back in sort of memoriam of his sister's 1 year after the incident, and from there weird shit starts happening, and it only gets weirder from there.
See, like that's a good setup. Like,
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun as shit. Like, and the way I understand it is, like, this game has a lot of that same Heavy Rain stuff where, like, people are gonna fucking die, and there is no rewind. Like, they just fucking died.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's if you fuck up a QTE or make a wrong choice,
Later.
there's no going back.
And it sounds to me like that, like the game wants you to not fucking worry about it. Like it doesn't expect you or want you to try to get a perfect playthrough. Like you're supposed to experience and immerse yourself into the horror that this game's trying to provide and enjoy just like what this game is, rather than just like, oh no, I fucked up, let's like load a previous save.
Yeah. I think the first time I played this game, of 8 characters, only 2 survived to the end.
Bloodbath!
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second time I played, I just kind of, knowing all the mistakes I made last time, I just did like a perfect run through.
Yeah, and I think that that's what those games kind of are for, really. Like, you get your first playthrough, it's gonna be sloppy, it's gonna be messy, shit's gonna go totally tits up, and that's okay.
But yeah, so one of the running themes of this game is the butterfly effect.
Oh, okay.
So much so that there's a butterfly effect menu.
I'm not surprised.
And so, you know, basically there's several key choices you can make that will influence the way events unfold later on, and specifically the way certain characters behave towards other characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is one of the ways that, you know, you can get killed pretty easily.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Is like if you were, just not saying too much, but like if you were a dick to one character as a different character, there's a chance that, you know, that might end up killing the other character because, you know, because the character you were a dick to is going to decide not to help you.
Yeah, and that's, like, I like shit like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. And there's a lot of backstory to what's going on in this game that can be discovered through hidden pickups and Easter eggs that are sort of, you know, scattered throughout the game's various areas. It's really kind of a creepy, oppressive atmosphere the first time you play it.
Cool.
So, really
like
cool
that.
game. The only thing I despise about this game is the don't move sections.
Oh.
So, you know how the PlayStation 4 has a backlight bar?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, there's this little outline of the backlight bar and a superimposition of your backlight bar on the screen.
Oh, that's
and
fucked
you have
up.
to keep it in the bar. And my hands are, like, persistently shaky, so... guess what killed most of the characters the first time I played this fucking
Oh, that's so fucked.
Is because, you know, you can usually get through a don't move section just by setting your controller down on a table.
Yeah.
But if you don't know it's coming,
Oh, you're fucked.
and some of the ones in like the final sequence of the game are fucking viciously long.
Oh, no.
So, you know, basically anytime you make a decision where it seems like a don't move section is coming, you better just have the control. You could conceivably just play this game with the controller on the table.
And just, like, you know, play like a keyboard with your fingers on it and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a really good game, and the characters are mostly, like, you know, not like amazingly deep, I'll say, but, like, far more varied and interesting and likable than your typical slasher movie cast.
That's definitely cool.
Emily will get on your fucking nerves, but...
I've heard that a lot.
I think Emily gets kind of an unfair rap in the power rankings, but she does but her and Jessica kind of start off as cunts in the very beginning of the game.
Oh, the C word.
But yeah,
Shut up, phone.
I didn't know this was rooted in kind of slasher movie stuff.
Oh, that's
That
like the
sounds-
entire thing, yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I will say you shouldn't go into this game expecting anything in terms of like horror. Although a healthy knowledge of horror movie tropes could possibly save the lives of characters.
I know, I'll just go off by myself.
Hey, guess how you can kill, like, all of your characters?
Uh-oh. ICQ pops up and goes, uh-oh.
Yeah.
If you're
That's
if you're
a reference.
Yeah, if you're over 30, you'll get that.
Only 80s kids will get this.
Yeah.
ICQ, that was the chat program.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I never had that one because somebody told me I had to pay for an account.
No, it was just dumb.
So somebody lied to me on the internet. What are the odds?
Uh-oh. I don't know why I keep doing that now. It's stuck in my fucking head.
Holly, are you high?
No, not at all.
Weird.
Bondertron, Taylor, you're like 15. How do you know that? Well, I've been on the internet since I was like 3, so.
Cool. So, kind of move things along. So that game definitely is. It's been on my to-play list for a while, but playing video games is boring.
Yeah. I mean, like, you could seriously clear Until Dawn in like one sitting.
Yeah, that's probably what I would want to do because
it would maybe take you like 6 to 8 hours to do that, but I did it, so.
Gotcha.
So, do you think this is a good game to have someone who doesn't play games watch you play?
Yeah, probably.
I might show it to my dad.
Show it to your dad. I was about to say.
Yeah.
Because this is
the thing is,
it's
he
like
hates horror stuff, though. So.
Yeah, Anna hates movies too. We can like that though.
It is definitely like a 50-50 mix of proper suspense and jump scares. So.
Gotcha.
And I will say, if there's a criticism I have of this game, it's that the jump scares are super cheap.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think
like,
that might be part of its tongue-in-cheek nature, though.
Yeah, I won't call them cat scares because they're usually deer instead of cats.
Gotcha.
There's plenty of deer. 9,000 decibel orchestra sing.
Oh my god.
Don't play it with headphones.
Okay.
Oh jeez.
Cool. So Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Good
game.
It sounds like good shit.
Yeah. The game I watched my girlfriend play, which I don't have much to say about, was Hohokum.
I've heard of this.
I played that.
You played that.
Yeah, it looked pretty.
It's an
art on it halfway.
It's an artsy puzzle game that takes about 3.5 hours to complete. I guess the big thing that stuck people on that game is that they don't know where to go, but the map is actually super simple.
Gotcha.
And not all, but it's really pretty and it has great music, and that's kind of like because I didn't play it, I just watched it be played. That's kind of as much as I can say about it.
Gotcha.
Cool.
It's a pleasant experience, maybe less so as a video game, I think.
Yeah. You're playing hide and sneak with your other Rainbow Snake friends and a bunch of really
Well, you just said the magic word. You just said the magic word.
What?
Snake. John, wants to be eaten by snakes.
I said John's magic words anyway.
Yeah, you said John's magic word. Snake. Come on, Rhett, keep up. Come on.
Well, actually, more
Spider.
snakes get eaten in Hohokum than snakes do the eating.
Well, that doesn't matter to John.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters to John.
All right.
What?
But
who cares about eating snakes?
Oh, he wants to be eaten.
Is that
What if other snakes are eating snakes?
I think this is the second time that Rhett has been like, oh, John doesn't care. He wants to eat spiders. He's into that. They're into that. And what? No.
Look, I saw that poster you made where you're like, I will eat any spiders. Get in my tongue.
Yeah, that's...
By the way, John, because I know you had some vor versus cannibalism discourse at one point.
Yep.
Getting eaten by a snake is vor because snakes swallow their prey whole.
Yeah, obviously. They're like one of the only like real life vor animals.
Real. There's something amazing to me about him saying real life vor.
Yeah, the rest of us just call that eating.
I'm gonna pour these chips.
Say, there's there aren't a lot of plausible ways to be bored in real life. I'm just saying that snakes are one of them.
You can have whale eat you.
I mean, there's whales, I guess, but there's kind of no way to be bored by a snake for real, though, because even anacondas aren't big enough to get over your shoulders.
Wait,
what if you're a little kid, though?
no,
Well, yeah, but
snakes eat people. It's happened, right? Right?
I don't think. No, it hasn't happened, John. We found people half eaten by snakes, and then both of them dead because the snake, ruptured everything it was trying to eat a man.
No, I thought snakes actually eat people. I thought that was something that happens on television.
Oh my god!
Where have we gone?
I feel like Polly had a sagui to make.
You're wrong.
Oh my god!
I just ruined John's night because he's gonna be falling down the wiki hole now.
Oh no. He'd rather be falling down the snake hole, but you can only get about halfway down that one.
I think I should just say now, giant spiders also don't exist in video games.
Yeah, but they're fun. But they don't actually exist in real life.
Hopefully.
As far as, I mean, hey, there's a lot of the Amazon that's uncharted.
God damn it. Why did I let
it always goes places when I'm here.
Oh god, never again. Oh god.
I mean, this USA Today article says that someone got eaten by a 23-foot snake. Maybe it's real. Wait, come on.
Let John have the fantasy, I suppose. Taylor, is there anything else you'd like to hit on before I punt you out of the call and we get to answering some questions?
Well, I'm working on music.
Oh, music!
I finished my 808 Day song.
Oh, did you?
However long ago it's been since August 8th.
Tell you what you can do with that 808 song.
What's that?
Send it to me, and I will put it at the end of this podcast in the archived version.
Okay, I'll shoot you the link, buddy.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because it ended up being a 3-hour flight. I guess we had a jet stream and ended up getting here 30 minutes early.
Oh God, you hit Jetstream 4. You hit Jetstream 4?
Yeah, sorry, Tom. I think that's who that is.
Yeah, it's Tom.
Okay,
thanks.
Anyway, but because I was flying Frontier, there's no Wi-Fi. So not having much else to do and having listened to all the Spotify albums I had, downloaded in preparation, I decided, hey, let's finish that song that I basically finished, just got lazy about arranging.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Any other cool tunes in the works, or is it just, hey, finish the 808 Day thing?
Yeah, I mean, that's the 808 Day thing is a piece of a larger project that I'm trying to actually finish for once.
Oh.
And that's my electronic music project, and there's something completely different that's sort of bubbling in the background.
Gotcha. That sounds really cool.
Yep. Oh, and, I mean, I guess I probably should have talked about Persona 5, but I feel like I would have to be a guest on, a normal podcast to really do the 55 hours I've played of that game justice.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I would have to be away from that podcast because I don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah, I won't say it's good. The party members are mostly all likable, as opposed to the last couple of games where there was always at least one or maybe more party members who I wanted to just feed to the shadows and be done with.
What up, Teddy? What up, Teddy? What up, Junpei?
Yosuke.
What? I love Yosuke and Teddy. Give him a hug.
Well, okay, Yosuke's not as bad as Junpei, but definitely Junpei.
Junpei is garbage person.
Fuck Junpei, but Yosuke just needs a hug and. Yeah, Junpei.
Anyway,
you opened the.
I'm not gonna open the floodgate. We're dropping it. We're killing that. We're gonna get off that topic, and we are going to say thank you to Taylor for taking the time out of your evening from getting in from a 4-hour flight to join us. And of course, thank you for making the awesome intro theme to our podcast, and always kind of being there to help us out musically in other ways as well. It's always a pleasure to have you around and be in the chat, and we can't wait to get more podcasting going with God is in the Podcast soon. And I hope it's been pleasant for you.
It has. I'm gonna go reap the benefits of a week-long tolerance break.
Oh shit! You have yourself a good evening, love, and we will talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you, Taylor.
Love you, Ann.
Damn, that was cold. That was cold.
Love you, Ann, and it got cut off.
That was cold and unintended.
That was great.
Taylor, love you.
All right, so to wind down
Questions.
this bad boy, hey, I hope y'all were paying attention earlier and dropped in the questions. Like, were they listening, Rhett?
We got 2, so
What the fuck, everybody?
a couple people, that's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. I don't need participation in my fucking podcast. So, throw us a question. What do we got?
Okay, so this one cracks me up because, earlier we were discussing what John's item of the week would be,
Yes.
and I had a prediction, and then we went with Final Fantasy VII instead. So, unprompted or anything, Tengu Gemini writes in, so, how about that Little Witch Academia?
Oh, wow.
And I say, yes, that show is fucking great.
I say I've seen the OVA and I like it. I haven't watched the TV series yet, though.
The OVA was my favorite Trigger thing until I watched the TV series. So, yeah, I really, really, really liked it. Little Witch Academia. I think the show, it's really fucking
Some of
good.
my favorite episodic stuff in ages, basically.
Yeah, and then when it turns into a Trigger show in the back half, it's kind of the best one.
Can we talk about how fucking gorgeous both of those OVA episodes are, though? How amazingly beautiful they are. And, though they tell really simple stories, they never lull or ever feel like... I kind of get a Trails in the Sky feel from it because it tells a story that is, there's simplicity in this story, but you can tell a really simple story very fucking well.
Yeah, that's especially the first OVA, which is just 26 minutes and then it just goes.
Yeah. I think that first OVA is a perfect story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really loved the second one too. I think that it took the longer route. It's 60 minutes long or something, but it tells us a really good story. It's got a nice flow to it. It's got a good dose of action. It's just a really, really fucking good.
I originally was disappointed with the second one when I first watched it because it was slower and more talky and it had more school stuff. But then after watching the TV series, it's that's kind of where the series goes as well in general, being more about kind of the school life stuff and not just action like the first OVA.
So the TV series is just a complete reboot. They throw away everything that is in...
I mean, they keep a lot of it, though.
Do they, straight up... Is it a straight up... do they at any point straight up retell, what has happened in any of the OVA? Or is it just kind of
The only scene... No, they do redo the very opening intro with her seeing Shiny Chariot as a little kid.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
That's something... That's important. That's important.
Yeah.
I would want that.
But the dungeon and the Enchanted Parade stuff never come up in the TV series.
Mm-hmm.
Also, visual humor, holy shit, it's on point.
Yeah, it's a cartoon, basically.
Yeah, it is a cartoon. It is the first anime I have seen since maybe Panty and Stocking that embraces being a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a love letter to just animation.
As a whole. Not just anime itself, but 1910 to 1940 shit. Old as dirt animation. They go for every single kind of style or visual gag or an animation technique that is not used today.
Yeah, they reference that stuff very explicitly in the TV show. This is in love with this entire history of this art form.
Yeah.
And even thematically, it kind of reads like a love letter to just animation and the way these cartoons help these people.
There's definitely a reading of the TV series that's just like, just cross off the word magic and write 2D animation every time Echo talks, where she's like, 2D animation isn't dying, I'll revive it, you know? So,
See, I had an idea while me and Rhett were watching the OVAs, and I was like, what if every time magic was cast, you put a fart noise in there? Because, like, the way the animations always happen with the magic, I'm thinking, you got fucking comedy gold. You could release this series again under my direction, and it would be real fucking funny. Not that it's not funny already, because that's another thing. The OVAs are genuinely funny, too. Like, the humor is genuinely funny. Anime isn't funny most of the time.
Yeah. I don't have anything to add other than, anime tends to be very dry, kind of explain the joke.
Yeah,
humor.
Explain the joke, on the nose kind of shit.
Yeah. This is very it moves too quickly, basically, for it to dwell on anything. And there'll just be, like, little animation gags happening in the background.
See, I was watching some older episode of The Simpsons earlier today, and I was noticing that, like, with comedic timing and just, like, really smart things that they do to make a gag stick, or the way they'll chain, like, 3 or 4 gags together in the span of, like, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then just make it work without having to fucking draw attention to it by somebody saying what the joke was.
Yeah, that's absolutely the worst. I hate that Japan is so focused on the straight man character, like, explaining the joke every time.
Yeah.
So, yes, we should watch Little Witch Academia soon, Polly.
We're going to.
Very good.
Right?
I know,
We're going to. Don't you worry. And one last call. If you if you got a question, you click on Rhett's name and you click the whisper button. Shoot it on over to him, and we'll try and get to it. So.
Yeah, we have 2 left still. I got
another
one.
All right. Question number 2.
Mikey Peachy writes, "What's the best game you discovered via the Sockscast?" That's kind of a tricky one. I'm not sure I've ever played anything because. Maybe Undertale, kind of. John
you
would
probably
not shut up about that thing.
Well, yeah, Undertale is kind of a definite.
Yeah.
I would say that you didn't play Helen's Mysterious Castle until we talked about it quite a bit.
So basically, I have enriched both of y'all's lives.
Yeah, John is basically the taste maker. John played Neptunia Rebirth 1.
Yes.
Because we talked a lot about Neptunia.
Yes. What else?
Yeah, I think Helen's Mysterious Castle, though, is a great one. I've literally didn't know what that was until, like, I know what Danganronpa is and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I did play Danganronpa because of what Polly and everyone said.
We got some Neptunia from Carmichael. We got Helen's Mysterious Castle from Chelsea.
Yeah. And then there's this game called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Whatever the fuck that was. I heard the first one's real fucking good, though.
Yep. Oh, wait.
Being sarcastic, John.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, shit. I had to explain the joke. Fuck. We failed.
There's ways explaining the joke can be funny.
You're not wrong.
Like repetition and humor can be...
Oh, that's my thing.
Yeah, that's my thing, too. That's the whole Neptunia Rebirth 3 is just...
Yeah,
we're going to take, like, 3 jokes, and that's the entire game. We're just going to run them into the ground.
Yes. Dragon Quarter because of John. Yes, I played Dragon Quarter because of John. That game. I played Dragon Quarter because of John, and because of John, quite literally, because I borrowed John's copy for a year, and then I bought my own.
Yep, it's a good game.
Cool.
Oh, Problematic too. Yay. Man. Yeah, I'm just floating around.
Y'all are missing a real important one here. I know a lot of y'all out there played Her Lullaby. Don't fucking lie to me.
Oh, that's a little different.
No, it's not. It appeared on the podcast. God damn it!
It's true. Rhett heard about it on the podcast.
Yeah, Rhett heard about it on the podcast. Didn't even fucking know. One of my favorite podcast moments of Rhett just be like, "Wait, what?"
You got me.
So funny. I am just so you know, I've been Googling around about snakes. This
Oh my
whole
God.
20 minutes.
Red,
I
next
am-
question, please.
Okay, next question.
My week is shot now. Everything, God is dead.
Move
Love is gone.
Okay, this one comes in from Vanner Orion, and I already know the answer to the first part of this. Does Polly like Contra Hardcore?
Fuck yes,
More-
I do.
Wait, more than Contra 3?
I love it more than Contra 3 because Contra 3 is kind of not super great. Like,
Yeah, I
it
don't think
doesn't
he's,
feel like Contra 3 does not feel complete to me. It feels like a couple, like, look, you got stage 1. Stage 1 is awesome. Stage 3.
Yeah.
Stage 3 is awesome. The bike stage, I can give or take. I think that kind of, a little boring. I think that, like, those kinds of levels were done better in later Contra games.
Like Hardcore?
Yes. And the Alien's Lair.
And stages 6 through 8, or what about stages 6 through 8?
There's only 6.
What?
There's only 6 stages in Contra 3. Yeah, but
Well,
that game's
okay, what
that
about
game's
2 and 5.
2 and 5 are the bad mode
They're
7 stages.
Fucking poop from a butt.
Poop from a butt.
Oh.
Yeah,
well, at least
but-
there's this big, solid climax level, right? Like the alien warehouse, like all those. That's always been a strong suit in Contra games, right?
yeah, kind of. But
So what about 3?
I didn't catch that.
I was sorry. I was just leading. Sorry. Continue.
Sarcasm.
Okay.
It's a little tricky sometimes.
By like leaps
Yeah.
and fucking bounds, I
Yeah,
prefer hardcore.
Polly loves hardcore. We all do.
Like I've
Okay,
played
so-
that game so many times. It's like we joke about Boner playing that game all the time, but it's actually me. Like I'm the one that literally fucking will play it like once every couple weeks.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay, second part. Does Polly still like Contra 4, and if so, how much?
I still think Contra 4 is pretty great. I think that it is flawed. Like I remember when it came out, I gave it that big old fat 5 gold sock review.
Mhm.
I would probably take a full sock off of it. Take away that golden sock, not even a 4.5, because I think that game's base stages are terrible, and there are 3 of them, and one of them is near incompletable without having a weapon. Like if you get killed, playing that game on hard mode is super fun. It's also super very hard. And if you get to the final boss on one of the base stages where you have to close the door to cut the thing's head off, and you have a pea shooter, and you can't mash like 64 times a second, you're done. You can't do it. It's impossible.
That's pretty bad.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
But that game's great.
Okay, next question comes in from Sayara, who we talked to like 3 hours ago.
Hey, I know who Sayara is. It's a bitch.
Speaking of cartoons, how about them old Mario cartoons?
I think they're
I
charming.
never watched them.
They're really charming. They're bad. They're so badly animated, and like you can see the animation problems all over the place. And they're clearly just there to promote Nintendo products because they came out in the heat of NES Mania, really. But man, they're charming in their own fucking way. I really still like them.
I just can't remember anything about those shows now besides the YouTube poop that has emerged from that.
I only watched some of the Zelda one.
The Zelda ones are bad. I don't like those at all.
Gotcha.
I do like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, Super Mario World, and Super Mario Brothers 3 though. Those are still fun.
Cool. And Toad can take off his thing.
Yeah, he takes it off. And he uses it to float around and shit. It's pretty good.
Cool.
Okay, one more question. I think this is going to be the last one.
All right, let's hear it.
From Jetstorm 4.
Yo, what's up?
What's a useful creative process you've discovered when making something that has benefited you the most? This is a pretty tricky question.
That's tricky, and I think we can all probably have something for this.
Okay.
My favorite, like the thing that I kind of learned through doing creative things is that you can't force it. If you're not feeling it, maybe don't do it. Because, yeah, I mean, there are times where you can absolutely kind of grind it out and make it work, and it'll still come out good. But I think that a lot of the times, if you try and do something and you're not feeling it, you're kind of just going through a process, and you're not really kind of approaching it as quote unquote a piece of art. Then it starts feeling forced and mechanical and like work, and it's not fun. And since like Poly Dungeon, like we talked about this last year, we announced it last year, and it didn't get any work done on it because I was not in that creative space, and it wasn't the creative space I wanted to be in, because it's not where I felt like being. Like a lot of bad shit happening, a lot of bad things going on, and then her lullaby came around, and it was like, oh no, wait, I'm not terrible and awful at trying to create things. It's just I was not residing in the proper creative space that I needed to be. And then once we finished that, it allowed me to re-enter the proper like creative space where I wanted to be, to start working on Poly Dungeon again, and to work on getting that to be a possibility, to work on my free time, to make sure that I had the free time to do it. So that's kind of like the thing that I've learned the most, is just like, if you're not feeling it, either take a step away for a while, or just maybe try something else. Just like see if something else sticks. Like just like always try to keep yourself flexible. That's what I think. That was the thing that I kind of learned the most.
I have a thing that kind of ties into that. I had someone talking the other day where they were worried basically about putting a thing down. And I think there's this idea that, like, as a creative person, if you start on something,
you have to finish it now.
And then you have to finish it now, because if you don't, then the work will stop being alive. And when you come back to it, it won't be as vital, it won't be as true to whatever you were feeling. You'll lose sight of whatever it is that made that drive for you. And I just don't think that's true.
No, not at all. Or else Kekai would not exist.
Yeah. I think, like, of the last 4 games I put out, 3 of them I put down. Actually, the last 5 ones, 4 of them I put down for months.
Yeah.
Most of my games I put out for months. I put down for, like, months in the middle and then come back to them later. Just because it's a long and draining process to create something, even something small, and you sometimes just need that. You need to not force it. Yep. And really, there's always going to be that seed in the back of your head, that point of inspiration.
Yeah. Like, it came from a legitimate place. Like, if you are creating something, it's a part of you. It's where it came from. You're not going to lose that. You may need to find it again, but it's not going to be hard.
Yeah. I remember the idea when I getting the idea for Fugitive, like, years before I made it, and how that one idea was strong enough that it propelled me through the whole process. The idea for Kikai, the idea for like the idea of the witch game, where I wanted that, like, weird, ambiguous kind of horny sacrifice scene.
Yeah.
And then building everything around that. And it wasn't a ZZT game first. I was thinking of it as a story or a Twine game, and then it just shifted over time.
An entirely different medium presented itself.
Yep.
That's another thing, is like, if you want to get started on something creative, start with the thing you want to do the most. Like, you said that, like, you had that idea for the porny sacrifice scene. It's just like, okay, start with the thing that you want to do the most. Think about it, dwell on it, write it, create it. Whatever you want to do, start somewhere. That's a starting point. Build around, come back, and, change it when you need to.
So a work doesn't die when you put it down. As long as that original point of inspiration is still enough to make you excited to work on it.
Yeah.
Eventually, then you can come back to it, and it'll still be just as alive and just as ready for you to wrap it up.
Yeah.
And if that point of inspiration is no longer compelling, if it's like, no, I don't actually like this, then nothing's lost.
There you go.
It probably wasn't worth it in the first place. If it's not a thing that drives you now, then you're okay.
And Peaches has a great a great sentiment here is like, the most interesting part is usually what can be salvaged if you decide to change or scrap it.
Mm-hmm.
You can always learn something, even from something that gets scrapped.
Mm-hmm. So as long as you want to work on something in the whether that's now or in the future, you can.
Yes.
Like, it's not dead.
Yeah, creativity doesn't die.
Yeah, I think I have one more important one, but Rhett?
So mine thoughts are kind of maybe in a different tangent than yours. Mine is like, when writing stuff or making anything, like, I'll really kind of just start off with a small text file and just kind of have a light map of where I want things to go. Like, okay, I want this scene, then this scene, and this is where it has to go by the end. But, like, not hammering out the details too early on and kind of being committed to things. Like, when doing a lot of I versus Pi episodes, it would be like, okay, here's what I want to express in this episode, and then kind of just writing the jokes later on. Basically.
Yeah, let it, write it, and all of that shit seems so freeform to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then for, like, Hunters, it was a lot of, like, okay, I want this stage, then this stage, and a boss here, but, like, the details came much later. But I think it really helps to kind of have guidance of what your endpoint is going to be, so you can kind of look ahead still.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I think is also important is when making things, like, sometimes your ideas get ahead of you, and the scope of a project can really kind of balloon out of control.
Yep.
Which is really what happened with Hunters, where that game was like, this maybe be like a year project, 6 months, and then it turned into 3 years because it just kept getting bigger. So I would also say, like, you can let that happen and you can make great things that way, but also maybe don't be afraid to scale back the scale of something if you're not feeling it as much, because Bullet Phase was another game I made that I originally was thinking, like, it was going to be twice as big, and I was just like, no, I kind of want to just cut this off.
Polydungeon did the same thing. Polydungeon scope got cut in half halfway through production.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it can make a better product, though, if it's, like, much tighter, more focused on what's still there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like, it might wind up better when you do that. When a lot of the times cutting down the scope is better.
I think in general, like, editing is important.
Yes.
You don't want every little possible idea in something, which maybe happened with Hunters.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Chelsea and Peachy both say, I love having finished projects, but the making of them in and of itself doesn't necessarily always sustain me. And I think that really speaks to my experience too. Like, it's the opposite of what Sayara said, where it's about the experience. For me, I really want to see the thing that I wanted made, and I want to hold it in my hands and have it be this finished thing. And that's really my reward. So it's not like, a lot of the time the actual process isn't, like, necessarily much of a blast. I think Her Lullaby was one of the only ones where, like, this is really fun all the way through.
Yeah, we literally never hit a point when writing Her Lullaby where it was just like, oh man, I'm so bummed about, like, we never every single day was literally this string of DMs of just literally, holy shit, we're fucking geniuses.
Okay, except for working on the save system.
Oh god, fuck that noise.
Yeah, Polly didn't worry about that. I programmed the save system.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing. I like talking about this stuff. Yeah, like, that was another thing I was going to... that Red said was the scope. I think every single person who starts out wanting to make something is going to start... because they fell in love with large-scale projects.
Yes.
Like Chrono Trigger or game or other huge things, pieces of art, Star Wars. Yeah. They want to create that kind of experience, and I just don't think it's wise to try to start there. I think you should try to start with smaller stories that are still beautiful in their own way. I think, and the one last thing is that you're not actually making something until you are making it.
Yeah.
If you want to make a video game, you haven't really started making the video game until you... Like, I don't mean this in, like, a prescriptive, shitty way. I mean in, like, once you, like, you can keep something in your head for forever, and that's beautiful. That's a wonderful thing. But it's always, always, always going to change hugely in the actual process of putting the words onto the word processor, putting the pen on the page, or writing or figuring out the programming engine so that you can draw sprites on the screen.
Yeah.
And you have to start.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, is you've got to just fucking do something. And that's hard. That's still a hard thing. You know, there's just a lot of factors that can go into the process of being a creative, and it's just like, you're just not feeling it. You don't feel creative. You look at what you do and you don't feel that it's good enough. Like, there are a lot of barriers that hold you back, and like, we can't possibly sit here like with, you know, what little time we have remaining here and just say and try to go over all of them. It's impossible because everybody's different. Like, we've all kind of got to like bounce ideas off of somebody. Like, try not to like always be in your own head about things too. I think that's really important. Finding somebody to bounce ideas off of or talk about why you feel stuck.
Yeah, you don't have a like. The process of creating art is not the process of taking something in your head and then reproducing it on the screen or the page.
Yeah.
It transforms completely in the creation process, which I think is good, because otherwise the creation process would probably be really boring.
Yeah, like I think me and Sayara are more similar, and I think Rhett and John are probably more similar. At least in that regard, because like I do get a lot of joy out of the process of making a thing and kind of like seeing it gradually come to life. And like I like looking back on like, okay, I have this whole new toolkit of things that I learned from making this thing that I made. I can probably do other cool things with these new tools. Awesome.
Yeah. When something comes together in a way that you didn't expect, that's always huge.
Yeah.
And depending on the scale of the project, like with something like Her Lullaby, you'll have a number of like micro versions of that just from moment to moment. Like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. But if you're making like a smaller thing, a lot of the times you won't get that everything like, coming together until near the end. Yeah. And it feels so good, but yeah, start things, start small and finish.
Yeah.
And
go big or go home.
Or if you're gonna go big, like I don't know, there's like a mentality you have to keep within you somehow, just like of like this thing you're doing. Yes, it is very cool and it is very important, but you might need to step away from it from time to time.
Yeah. Just ultimately the only thing that matters is what is outside of your head, because that's the only thing that other people are going to see. And that's like the joy of it, is that you get to share something inside yourself with other people, and I really like that. Go ahead, Rhett.
Oh, I didn't mean to like counter you, but like for me personally, I never intentionally started with small projects. It was just Adventures of Mike Man is this big like 5-level game, and it's gonna have all these environments and stuff. And, like,
you kind of.
I never started with small projects.
Never.
No. I just went big from the very start, and then they kept getting bigger until I finally broke.
Yeah, I went for...
and Flash 4 broke.
Oh yeah, I fucking destroyed that thing.
I went to copy. I tried to rip off Mike Man 2, and it was for like my 8th game or something, and it was still like a much smaller thing than Mike Man 2 was.
Yeah.
God.
Do we have any more questions?
No, we do not.
All right. So... guess I want to take this opportunity again to thank each and every one of you out there. You've kind of, what makes this kind of, you make it worth doing. You listen to us. Like when we started this thing 3 years ago, it was just like, who the fuck is going to listen to us babble for 3 hours about the most mundane bullshit, the things that they could probably be doing. But you all have, and that's really cool, and we really do appreciate everybody sticking around. We, of course, appreciate everybody that has, worked with us on artwork or worked with us for music, and, of course, everybody that's been a guest. You've always been fantastic, and we've always enjoyed your company, and one way or another, we got something out of that. Man, remember Monster Hunter?
No.
Y'all want to talk about Monster Hunter for a bit?
No.
I love you, Vanner. I'm just fucking around. But, yeah, you all are fantastic. And I have the 2 best co-hosts anybody could ever hope to do a podcast with. So I just want to thank both of you as well for 3 fucking years of just like, how did we get this far?
Time stops for no one.
You're not wrong. So I still don't know when we're coming back at a regular capacity. There's a lot of stuff up in the air about that. Rhett's got some stuff coming up that may kind of make it a little harder to do things on the regular. I'm still at a point where I want to be creating things right now, even though I did play through Trails in the Sky, and that made me also finish. God damn it, Carmichael! I love you, but god damn it! But yeah, I don't know when we're coming back on the regular. So just keep an eye on the main page, and we'll get back to something. It's always kind of it's up in the air. We're not going away forever. The podcast is never going to die. Straight up. Never. We will always have it in us to do a Sockscast. God damn it, Tengu.
You're getting paid now.
I'm getting paid now. I'm getting them big Twitch bucks. Man, yeah, we don't know when we're coming back. We'll try and get something figured out here in the next month or two. But yeah, just kind of keep an eye out on the main page. We also, stop by the Discord. We're always hanging there. There's always good times to be had there. So as we wind this thing down, John Thayer.
Yeah?
First of all, thank you very much for being my co-host. Secondly, where can we find you on the old internets?
Farawaytimes.com.
That's a good website. I hear there's lots of good games that people can play there.
Yep. Links to my blog and my Twitter. And then on my blog is a link to my itch.io, which is the same thing.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
And Rhett, hey.
Hi.
Thank you for being my co-host and my best friend for 17 years.
Jesus Christ! Don't say the number. It's
kind of crazy.
That's as old as I. That's basically as old as I am.
Yeah. Where can our pals on the old internet find you?
in3.tumblr.com. There's also lots of games there.
There's
and
lots
play
of good games.
Hunter's Relics of Stars.
The Hunter's the Relic of the Stars is a good game.
Well, yeah, just minus the.
No, there's a the in there. There's lots of them.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to Google search the thes.
No, you don't.
The Hunter's the Relics of the... Wait, damn. Never mind. Paul,
Yeah.
that joke.
Just go play Hunter's Relic of Stars. Go play Bullet Phase. Go play Super Zalixer if you want to bend your fucking mind.
Go play Adventures of Mike Man 2.
Those are all good games.
If you want to bend your fucking mind.
If you want to bend your fucking mind. And you can find me, as always, at my dumb website. You can email me at polly@socksandpeoplesexy.net. You can also shoot us questions there. You can also shoot questions to @SMPS_updates. But since we're not doing regular podcasts, it's probably a bad idea to send questions, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, with that, we're going to get out of here. We hope you all have a great week, and we hope you enjoyed spending your Sunday evening with us. And, hey, remember, we are the podcast that loved you. We are the only ones that love you. And that's how we do a podcast, people.
Woo!
Woo!
Are we disconnected?
No, we're still live.
We're still live.
We're still live.
Oh.
All right, we're going to go now for real, though.
Okay.
Love you all.
Loves.